All right, King Killers, we're covering chapters 4 through 5 from the Way of Kings in this episode. We start off with Kaladin, who's continuing his super fun trip all the way to the Shattered Plains, and then we're with Shallan as she fails to convince Jasnah to take her on as reward. You'll also get to hear from a very special guest at the beginning of the episode. We were stoked to have him on, and I'm sure you guys will be stoked to hear it. And we talk about bathroom breaks, what it's like to have to work on the weekend, how desperate Shallan sounds, and I take aim at you grammar Nazis of the world. So sit back and enjoy. All right, welcome back to the King Killer Podcast. I'm Dan, and I got with me the super tiny Tim, as always. What's up, little guy? How you doing?
I am here.
And we also have a special guest, someone who's been begging to be on our show for weeks now, weeks and weeks, just calling me every day. Let me be on the show. It's so great. I just want to be on it. So we're going to let Brandon Sanderson introduce himself. Hey, guys, you're really awesome. I really like what you're doing. Oh, thanks, Brandon. But that's enough of you. So that was good for you, all you Stormlight Archive fans, that you got to hear Brandon Sanderson talk about his favorite podcast.
I did have a question or two, but you know what? It's fine. We'll hash it out. We don't need him.
Honestly, I don't want him messing up the flow of the show. He's not a guy that, he's not a professional podcaster, and I just don't want him getting in our way. I mean, he does his thing. He writes the books, and then we make him pop and we make him sizzle.
That's a good point. I mean, he doesn't have a podcast, as far as I know. He writes books, right? And like you said, we make him sizzle. Apparently.
Yeah.
Just really set him off, really get him out there,
But yeah, everybody, you heard it from the man that we are the ones that are his favorite podcast. So that is on record.
Nice. Yeah, it is known at this point.
So where are you at in the books now? Let's get that update.
I think I got to close to the end of chapter 28, if I remember correctly. Sort of the last thing that I remember was the interesting little sort of fax machine. Kind of reminded me of like when you're in high school and they have I think they called it like the opaque thing, where it's basically like, the projector of light, where you put a piece of paper on it and blows it up, throws it on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I only say that in the sense of like they just set up the pen, they twist the gemstone, and the pen writes as Jasnah Kholin is communicating with her
mother and Dalinar.
Yeah. And that was sort of I think that's the last I remember. Kaladin has his group's getting tighter, and
yeah, it would have been Kaladin in the caves doing his. They saw him with the staff, with the spear, and
actually, so that's really interesting because he did his thing with the spear. He's got Rock and Tef and all that. Now he's got a whole bunch of guys that are all kind of like following his lead. He's only got a few that aren't.
Yeah.
So he's completely sort of turned things around there. And what's interesting about the sort of parallel there is he's doing that in the cave while Dalinar had his whole get up on, what is it called? The
shard plate. Where the big it's the first time we've seen heard someone in a pitched battle, like a big battle, fighting with shard plate and shard blade, just wrecking shit.
In this circumstance, he's wearing the shard plate and gets a big ass Thor hammer just to break rock.
That's after, yeah.
And he's sort of like, I like it a lot because it's like, why isn't there shard plate for people just to be able to do a better job of what they do? Yeah. So he's kind of, and he. I thought
dealing with my only complaint in that is when they talk about the shard plates, it's good, for for this aspect, but it
Yeah.
cuts it too thin, so you can't pull the rock out. And I was like, why don't you just like cut like a U shape out, like so it just slides right out, like you know, like spoon it like you're doing ice cream. Like you don't have to fucking like cut a block of ice cream. You scoop it out. So why don't you scoop it out with your knife?
It's a bit problematic. I mean, you can buy it in the sense of like, you know, when you're watching some shows and there's a bit of a hole, you just whatever, it's fine. But yeah, I could. What he basically said was it cuts too well. Well, with precision, you have control. You know, so I think that's what you're saying. But and so I was just like, oh, okay, I kind of buy it with like,
but like I mean, like it doesn't even crumble. Like you could just be sitting there fucking going nuts with it because like the blade doesn't stop by the rock, so you could just be fucking waving your hand like a maniac and just slicing the shit out of it.
Yeah. But well, so what I was saying though, the sort of visual parallel that I see there is he's doing this at like the bottom of a cavern, it seemed, and right before that, Kaladin was doing something not altogether different in the bottom of a cavern. So, or they sort of felt somewhat. There's a bit of a parallel there between the two visually. But what I was also going to say too, since like I just read this part of it or listened to it, it is really interesting the types of things that Dalinar's wrestling with and struggling with within his mind, because he's like, am I losing my mind? I know how my actions are being perceived by others. Plus he has this haunting of seeing his own father, was it? Who sort of started to teeter. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it might have been his father. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Whoever it is, he witnessed his past sort of leader who went down this path and was reading The Way of Kings, reading the book, and then trying to live it, and then that.
Oh, that was Gavilar. Gavilar started reading The Way of Kings. That was his brother, the king.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I mix their names up a lot, so I don't have absolute confidence in who all of them are, but it's a cool parallel, or like all these different things that are occurring for him emotionally, psychologically, how things are being perceived because of his position, what his because now that he's acting a different way than the way he used to act, it's screwing up his legacy. Plus there's the load of people have seen this in the past with, you know, his brother, whomever, and he's seen it. So there's a lot of like emotional sort of psychological stuff wrapped up in there that I find really interesting. He's a very interesting character. It took me time to grow into enjoying reading about him, because at first I was just, I don't know. At first I wasn't as excited about the character, but it's definitely grown on me over time.
One thing, like they talk about like that, those, when you see him in a battle, because it happens shortly before those scenes, like he goes out on a run. What? Blackthorn? Yeah. The Blackthorn. And so when they go out on a run to go for one of the gem hearts, and he's in that shard plate and has a sword, and he's just mauling the other army. Like I'm just like, man, you could just be like a little kid in those things and just be doing like spinning around, just holding your blade out, and you would just be slicing motherfuckers up.
You're wasting through them.
There's nothing if they get touched by the sword, they're done.
And the Parshendi, which are like, you know, great soldiers, it doesn't matter. Like he's cutting right through them, you know, slicing right through them. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I'm definitely digging it. But yeah, I guess that's the last things I remember reading. So I think I'm like halfway, maybe getting between half and 3/4 through book 1 here.
Yeah, it's probably, I would guess around like 40% with where you're at.
Oh, okay. So not quite as far as I thought, but
no, you're 28 is the end of section 2, whatever, part 2. So the next chapter is one of the interlude chapters. But as far as what we're talking about tonight, we're going to start with the Shattered Plains, chapter 4. And in this chapter, we're back with Kaladin in the slave caravan, and they're continuing to travel. And he ends up ripping up the map that tells them where to go, and eventually they also see a big storm. So they see one of the storms for the first time, and he ends up finding out where he's being taken to go to the Shattered Plains.
So, speaking of the Shattered Plains, is that the Chol that are shatting on the plains, or is that the Parshendi that are shatting on the plains?
A lot of people are shatting on those plains because there's an army, and there's no porta potties out there when they're fighting. Yeah,
it's loaded with shat.
Yeah,
right on. Actually, it's kind of funny that I brought that up because what I just read, he's cutting a latrine. Or cutting. That's what he's doing with the hammer. He's literally he's cutting a latrine. It's one of the many things. These Soulcaster things have tremendous amount of application, and one of them is burning or eviscerating piss and shit. Apparently, which I mean, it's got a lot of utility. I mean, and we'll talk about it because we get to it here with like the literal description. But I guess we start out with. Kaladin's daily schedule, which sounds pretty chill, right?
Well, before the schedule, like the first thing, because this was one of the more interesting death rattles. It's what these are called, like in the opening of these chapters in the first part, where he's like, "I'm dying, aren't I? Healer, why do you take my blood? Who is that beside you with his head of lines? I can see a distant sun, dark and cold, shining in a black sky, collected on the 3rd of Jasnah, 1172, 11 seconds pre-death. Subject was a Reshi Chol trainer. Sample is of particular note." That, like, I mean, anybody who's going back through that would notice a couple things that are interesting there. You won't be able to understand it until you get further in the books, but who is that beside you with his head of lines? That's significant.
Is it like a Allen Iverson, somebody with cornrows?
Yes. Yep. It is 100% someone with cornrows, and that character comes into play later. It's Allen Iverson, actually.
Nice.
He wrote in the actual Allen Iverson into his fantasy series. Yeah.
Does he cross some people over?
Yeah. I mean, just dominating.
Just breakneck speed.
And he teaches them how to. That's the entire third book is Allen Iverson teaches them all how to play basketball. They make peace, and there's just a big basketball tournament, and he's putting up like 700 points a game.
Does he step over Tyronn Lue?
Yeah. He does that to Adolin, just completely embarrasses him.
Does Adolin go on to coach like Tyronn Lue did?
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah, that's book 5. Yeah, it goes in a weird place. You wouldn't expect it. A lot of basketball. A lot more basketball than you expect in this series.
Yeah. So far, that would definitely surprise me.
Yeah. But that is that, anybody who's read the books, like if you didn't notice that, obviously, who is that beside you with the head of lines, you would know, like, I mean, without spoiling you, Tim, like you could think of that as likely Pattern, like that type of character. And then I can see a distant sun, dark and cold, shining in a black sky. You could think of that for the audience. You could think of that as where Pattern lives. And so those are significant. Like, and I shouldn't say significant. They're just noteworthy. They're little Easter eggs hidden in there that, you wouldn't get unless you did a reread. Because you're not even going to understand what those references would be towards until you get much further along in this book. And you could get it a little bit in this book.
It takes a little while to realize what's even happening there. At least for me, it took a little while where it's like, wait, so what are these? I just kind of ignored it. I mean, not ignored it, but it's one of those things where it's like, okay, this is clearly a motif. Not really sure what is happening here, but over time, it's one of those things where just having experience reading books, it's one of those things that you realize this is going to be meaningful eventually.
Yeah.
So don't.
Well, even like the first part, I'm dying, aren't I? Healer, why do you take my blood? that is noteworthy once you understand what's going on. You realize, like, there's a difference between some of the things that they're saying versus like what this guy's saying. There's differences between these different messages. Some are prophetic and some of them are different. And this one that's different. But if you know what's going on when he's like, why do you take my blood? You understand what the fuck's going on. But if you don't know what's going on, that statement's just innocuous. You can't pick it up. But eventually there is a payoff, and you will understand what those things are. But I'm bringing that up because, people who are doing the reread, that's part of the payoff, is like you come across something like that, and then you're like, oh, okay, now I see, why that's in there, how it connects. And it's just kind of a little Easter egg. Not so much a plot thing or something along that. It's more of an Easter egg type of thing. So it's not like hugely important that you know what that means. It's just like a little added bonus you get if you're doing rereads.
Well, there's already been a couple things where, as I've read them, like, oh, that was foreshadowed.
Yeah.
They're not always fucking knockout punches. It's just this was foreshadowed in a way, and you're like, oh, that's where that came from, or that's what they were talking about there. It's cool. I mean, that's what good authors do, is they sort of lead you in, give you little segments of feeling of what you're going to eventually experience. It's cool.
Yeah. Those are. I mean, that's that's what you want, that kind of stuff in a reread. You want to have like at least some Easter eggs. You want to have some prophecy type of things, some foreshadowing, some clues that are that you got to connect some dots. Otherwise, why reread the books? Like, I mean, it could be a cool story, and the prose could be cool and that kind of stuff. But to really get a book that you want to reread and shit, you want that there's payoffs that you wouldn't pick it up unless you reread it.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. I mean, there are those. There's a lot of books I've read where it is an experience in itself when you're reading sort of the place it puts you in. If you know what I mean, like just certain sorts of psychological, emotional, mental states that you can sort of lean into that are conjured by the writer in themselves. This is, at least so far, this is very different in the sense of the whole world is different. So just by going into this world, it's like all these motifs come back, and like you reimagine. It's already pretty cool because I've read this and now I'm reading it again, and to go back with Shallan first meeting Jasnah Kholin, and then what that whole experience is like, and they're back and forth, and then the sort of complications that are there, because now that I'm further, I can go back and appreciate how they got to where they got to.
Yeah.
That's a sign of
you don't actually get very much. You haven't got much Shallan and Jasnah yet, because they're not in part 2. So from funny? Chapter 11 to, or from basically chapter 11 to 28, they're not in it.
What's funny is the chapter I'm reading now, the one that I'm on. He's the pen
talking, yeah.
Well, there's the pen doing the notes, and then there's all of a sudden it's drawing.
Yeah,
and he knows it's not Jasnah because it's way better than she could ever draw. And
yeah.
Like, oh shit! So finally, she has some appreciation. For Shallan's ability to fucking draw, or whatever you want to call it. And at first, she just shits on it, which we'll talk about when we get there, because that's literally in the next chapter. But that was a cool little payoff, because again, it's like, oh, so she is embedded. It's not stated. You know it if you're paying attention. You know that's what's happening. At least where I was, it's not clearly stated that it was Shallan, but because she's with her and blah blah blah. And even Dalinar, I think it was, is surprised that Jasnah even went as far as stating she took on a what's the word there? Took on a student, took on an aide, a full blown aide.
What do they call it? A ward or something like that?
Yeah, Ward.
Is it a Ward?
No, it is Ward. Yeah, Andre Ward. She took Andre Ward on under her tutelage, and But yeah, he even is surprised, which surprises me because she gave the impression like she has all these wards because she's all these people that want to be her ward.
Yeah.
But it sounds like she's turning them away because she just doesn't have the time or she doesn't think they're worth it. I think it's
she does not seem like the type of person that wants to deal with other people. Like I get the impression from Jasnah, like if she goes into, like a 7-Eleven and there's someone in front of her that's like buying lottery tickets.
Yeah, she's not
like
waiting.
Ready to immediately turn that person into vapors.
Well, if it's me, I just leave. I mean, seriously, like in the certain situations like that, I'm like, well, fuck it. Now I'm not doing this today. I've done it at the ATM. I don't know how many times. It's been a long time since I've been at an ATM. But those are the experiences I remember the most where it's like, if there's 4 people and one of them seems slow, I'm like, well, fuck it then. I'm done.
I've left full carts of groceries at the grocery store before because like I went to go check out. I saw how like every line was super long and it was like, nah, I'm not doing this. And I just went home. Left it, just didn't get groceries.
I love picturing that you were there for a good period of time and you selected the exact pieces of produce. Like you took the time to like look at the exact peppers. Okay.
For sure. Like filling the cart took longer than it would have took to wait, but that's how much I hate waiting in lines. Like it's just,
I would guess
my mind goes to very dark places if I get stuck in a line for very long.
I will guess, however, that was probably pre-smartphone because now with smartphones, it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. You got something.
I went to a gas station a couple weeks ago, and the guy was buying lottery tickets, and the machine wasn't working, and so the guy just kept rerunning the lottery ticket over and over again. Like I just went, like I was buying like beer, and so I just went and I set the beer at the counter and walked out. It's like you could go ahead and put this back. It's like this is fucking ridiculous, man. What are we doing here? It's like, no, yeah. So I'm still that way. Even with the smartphone, it's not enough there's something about standing in line and the line is not consistently moving forward. It's like, man, this better be faster than like, you're at an amusement park where you're like, oh, the line looks long, but you don't appreciate it. It moves pretty fast. It's like, it better be moving at least that fast.
It's a big flaw in the the way the business is being run. You got to have a second register, and if you do, just fucking let that guy sit there, man. He's obviously there for he has.
It only comes up at grocery stores. Be there for a while. It only comes up at grocery stores nowadays if they don't have self-checkout. Because if you have self-checkout, you can have like 30 of those machines, man. Like, what are you limiting? Just have like, you go into Walmart, there's like 50 of them. So it's just everybody. You're not waiting ever. You're just fucking walking straight up, boom, you're out. Like it's so much easier. Like, man, like you don't realize how much of an impediment the cashier is to you getting out of there until self-checkout came in and you're like, man, this is so much quicker. I'm just flying in and out of here. Like, man, so much better. I hate lines though. So I'm a bad person to ask about any kind of anything that involves lines. Even if the process took longer, if I didn't have to wait in line, I would be more comfortable with the process taking longer.
Well, maybe you need to work out that patience muscle, I guess, or just go to self-checkout.
I'm very, very patient.
It doesn't sound like it.
Well, there's different scales. On my scale, I'm very patient. But so you get like at the beginning of this chapter, you get the Windspren coming up to him, like, why don't you cry? She asked. And Kaladin sat with his back to the corner of the cage, looking down. The floor planks in front of him were splintered as if someone had dug at them with nothing but his fingernails. The splinter section was stained dark where the gray wood had soaked up blood. A futile, delusional attempt at escape. So he's in a pleasant place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, his routine sounds pretty chill. He's got a nice little spot here. He's got leg irons and, they get to go out. And something I didn't talk about in like when we first started this book that we should have acknowledged because of the previous series of books we've talked about.
I have a note here on that exact point. My note was very clear bathroom break since we already saw one. Rothfuss would have been more subtle.
Yeah. So they take pee breaks.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the book, the young kid, I don't remember his name now, but he literally pulls it out, pisses on the ground, and it's very explicit what exactly he's doing.
Yeah, he even had his piss run down his leg afterwards. He didn't even get it all out. He didn't give it a little last shake. Should have gave it a couple of shakes.
He let that last dribble just peter down the leg. The last book, or the series of books, Rothfuss books.
That's one of the biggest mysteries in the Kingkiller Chronicles. Implied. This one, he squashes that mystery right away.
Immediately. Yeah, immediately.
Chapter 1.
Which is really quite interesting as well, because this world is so far removed, so much further removed from our world than Kavoth and the world that Rothfuss has created. How interesting, right? How interesting that there are so many still very similar circumstances in this world that Sanderson's created to ours that are being, validated, verified early on.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, but what Rothfuss does a cool thing too, though. Like, I mean, that's obviously the central mystery everybody's trying to figure out. It's whether there are bathroom breaks in his world, whether people take pees and poops. And so, yeah, it's kind of cool that, it's cool both ways. I like it both ways. I like that they've settled the debate in this book early. Just get it out of the way, rip that Band-Aid off, and or you can go Rothfuss's route, and it becomes the central mystery of the story.
Now, I'm only 28 pages in, so I don't know if this gets addressed later. But as far as I know, in this series, I don't know if they floss and brush. We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah. That might be a big mystery, too.
I guess we'll see. Those hygiene moments are so important, so interesting in literary text.
Yeah. Yeah. Super, super important. But yeah, then we get Kaladin's Shashbrand was still cracked and bleeding. Or at least the cage's top gave shade from the sun. That sounds goddamn awful. Like the worst. You have they just cut some shit into your fucking forehead and it's, infected and is bleeding. Like, what do you do with that? Like, if you had your hand get infected, you might have to cut your hand off. What if your forehead is getting infected? There's nowhere to fucking go.
And what we had like a couple chapters back, he talked about the itching and then the tightness.
Yeah.
It's, like good details of what exactly it would feel like. Yeah, it's brutal. That's a brutal little element to have. Yeah.
Itchy, painful, cracked. Every time you move your fucking eyebrows, you feel this tugging. Like, sounds awful.
You said it was cut in. I wasn't sure if it was burned. But you're saying it's a cut.
I mean, cut or burned, like whatever.
Yeah. Either way, it's pretty fucking brutal. And yeah, they have the rot spren. He doesn't talk a lot about the rot spren on his head, but he does say he dabs it with his hand, and you see little spots of blood and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. He's not got a fucking great life. I don't really envy his life in the beginning of this book. It doesn't sound all that fun.
Yeah, not so much. I mean, I get I can see why he's kind of bummed out. He's a little bummed out.
Yeah, it's like, getting you think you're going to have the weekend off and then you get called in, you got to work the weekend. It's like that kind of bad.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like a bunch of people.
You had so much stuff. I was going to go to the beach. Now I got to go fucking work. My boss is a dick.
It that sounds kind of like bad. A lot of people he knew and cared about growing up as well are dead. So yeah, it's probably it's probably even like Friday night you had plans, and then not only did you have to work Friday night, Friday afternoon you got to work the night too.
Yeah, well that's like they call you. You find out as you're leaving work on Friday that you had to come in for the weekend, so you can't even go out and party on Friday night. You have to cancel your Friday night plans as well as your weekend plans. Your whole weekend ruined. Same as like everybody you know is dead and you're a slave and you got a rotting fucking wound on your forehead.
Next time that happens to someone who's listening, just hand your boss a big blade and say, "Why don't you just cut in my forehead right now?"
Yeah.
Why don't you just brand my forehead?
Brand slave in my forehead right now. Just
put TGI for TGI Fridays wherever you work. There you go.
What it would be? GFYF. Go fuck your Friday.
Nice. There you
Sizzle that into my fucking forehead.
Sizzle.
Yeah, so basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's a similar experience.
But I love the windsprint. What's her face? Syl. Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
The windsprint shifted to mist, floating like a tiny cloud. And just that aspect of it too, like changing shapes, changing to mist, like a cloud, and then a little fucking girl walking upstairs that aren't fucking there. Just like it's such a weird fucking thing.
It's such a the way the elements of, and she's funny. She does funny things, and then she's also like, she has this great energy of being surprised by things, and then also being inquisitive and cutting right to the like the gut of the problem. It's a very interesting element to have mixed in with a dude in the state that he's in, man. It's great. And this is what I mean, we've talked about this a number of times and probably will continue to. This is one of those things that you have to be so judicious in terms of how you would present this if you were to put this in a visual format. If this was going to be a series or a movie, the way that you would have to present it can't be fucking Tinkerbell, from frickin' Hook. It needs to be something that's more.
It's almost like exactly. The genie from Aladdin more than fucking Tinkerbell. I mean, because it can like change, like the genie can change shapes and make himself into whatever he wants.
Yeah, it is. But
I mean, that's that aspect of it is, more than just like a little tiny person, because it's not like Syl could make herself into like a fucking as big as she wants, as tall as him.
Well, what I mean by what I was saying is the tonality of it. It can't be the genie from Aladdin either.
No.
Or it's a fucking cartoon now. This is not a serious thing, Can't do Bridge 4 with Syl just being a cartoon floating around.
You have a lot of license when you have like as serious as like his life is and what he's going through, and then you're adding a comedic element to it. Like you can get, sillier with it than without making the show silly. Because of it's grounded in heaviness. Like the story is fucking heavy. So when you add a like comedic element, it's just lightening it up rather than turning it into like a cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, I guess literally lighting and music.
Now, what you couldn't do is like have
the tone,
have like Kaladin in this situation, where he's extremely depressed, like fucking having a good old time with Syl, and fucking they're just cracking jokes back and forth, and it's a comedic duo.
Laughing.
It's funny because he's like the straight man, where like, I mean, he's more the straight man that's depressed, and like at most like it would be like a like she's saying these things, and he sort of smiles. Like he doesn't want to smile. He's trying to hold it in, but she's making him smile despite himself.
Yeah, I can see that. I see a Buster Keaton type of
Buster Keaton
coming from Kaladin.
What is that one?
Yeah, you're gonna hate that. That's silent film era shit. Going way back. But yeah. But in terms of straight man, I mean, shit, one of the best ever. But the kind of the next note I had, we were going into the seasons, and we talked about this before, but weather and seasons were unpredictable. You never knew how long they'd go on. Typically, each would last a few weeks. That was interesting to be confronted with, the idea that a whole season is a few weeks long. So
Yeah.
they're revolving quick in terms of, their time. Or, well,
But you would
it's
think
funny.
that they're just not, because it's not consistent. You would think that the rotation has got to be just all around weird, like that
Well, they have
they're
3
not
moons,
like
right?
they're not like fucking turning at the same fucking angle or something, or the angle is just like a real slight angle. I don't know exactly what it would take, but they almost got to be just like turning left to right in a circle without like it like the Earth where it's more at a a shifting angle.
Well, and they have 3 moons, if I remember right. And it seems like it's interesting because our world is it's so shaped around the seasons, and the seasons are predictable, and the seasons make up a year, and we have those 12 months, and it's all about those seasons, and that it's something we've been able to set our whole calendar and clock and lives to societies around the world. With this, it seems very unpredictable. But it also seems like they have different climates, right, for different parts of the world. If I'm
Well, I mean that's why you look at like here, 3 months is summer and then 3 months is winter. So like 3 months you're the furthest away from the sun, and then for 3 months you're the closest to it. But for here, it seems like your weather pattern it's pretty fucking consistent. So it's more like Alaska, like parts of Alaska where like the sun is out all day and that kind of thing, where the rotation is different in that sort of way. Obviously, it's not exactly that, but I think like with the way the rotation is going, where like if one side is closest to the sun, however the rotation's going, it stays pretty much closest to the sun almost the whole fucking rotation around the sun. Like, so whatever the individual orbit of the planet, it's that whatever that piece of land is pointing at the sun, it's staying closest to the sun no matter where the rotations go. It's got to be a weird rotation. I don't know exactly what's going on. Why it would do that, but it's clearly has a much different rotation than Earth that it would have to.
Well, yeah, and I think the 3 moons make a big difference. I think because that stands to reason that that you would have completely different weather and seasons because of those different impediments. In terms of, it's all about light, atmospheric pressure, and
What kind of cheese do you think they're all made out of? Is it all the same cheese, or is like 3 different cheeses?
I think it's 3 different cheeses. One of them's slightly purple, isn't it? If I remember right, one of the moons is slightly purple, so it's like that
cheese, man. That is a mistake.
That veiny. That's like that veiny sort of. I don't even know what the type of cheese. Camembert.
That sounds like moldy cheese. Brie-ish. That is cheese that's got moldy.
All cheese is moldy, right?
No, I don't think that's right.
I think one of them is Manchego, and I think one of them is mozzarella.
I had cheese that I bought and then I didn't eat it in time and it got moldy. It was different. It wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't moldy the whole time. It was moldy later.
You accelerated the process. Yeah. It got better. You should have eaten that green, really frostiness. That's good stuff, man. That's
I like curated. When my cheese is furry.
Never mind if it makes you sick. That's your body detoxing, right? That's the good thing. That's what you're hoping for.
Yeah, that's why I like, with like milk, wait until it gets clumpy.
Oh God, that's so gross.
But yeah, that, and I love Kaladin does the move that almost never happens in shows or movies where like the person is in a terrible situation and just gives the ultimate middle finger to the guy in charge. And that 100%, like I at least I like to imagine that if you put me in that situation, that's exactly what I would do. Is I would defy the authority in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that. It doesn't seem like a very practical approach if you're trying to
once
make
you
it
start,
the best you
once you're
possibly
doing that
can.
shit to me, you're fucking branding shit into my forehead, not even giving me anything to like fix it up.
Yeah,
Fucking
I guess
making
I
me
forgot
eat
about
fucking garbage, and I'm chained up, like fucking stinking, fucking riding in this thing. Like you got me in a cage with a bunch of other fucking dudes. It's probably extremely uncomfortable. And at that point, yeah, I'm gonna be so much like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and he does. He talks a lot of shit in this chapter, that's for sure. He's pretty good at it. He's pretty good at the shit talk.
Yeah. I love the, Tavlakov kept waving in the direction they'd been going, then pointing at his sheet of paper. Lost, Tavlakov? Kaladin called. Perhaps you should pray to the Almighty for guidance. I hear that he has a fondness for slavers, keeps a special room in damnation just for you. And that the other guy that's sitting next to him just kind of like starts scooting away, like, oh shit. He's like, he said, deserter. I left the armies travel these lands for their war. Do you know anything of the area? Let me see the map, Kaladin said. Tavlakov hesitated, then held it up for Kaladin. Kaladin reached through the bars and snatched the paper. Then, without reading it, Kaladin ripped it in two. In seconds, he shredded it into 100 pieces in front of Tavlakov's horrified eyes. Tavlakov called for the mercenaries, but by the time they arrived, Kaladin had a double handful of confetti to toss out at them. Happy Middlefest, you bastards, Kaladin said as the flakes of paper fluttered around them. He turned and walked to the other side of the cage and sat down facing them. I fucking love that. I love it so much. Like, it's such a fucking badass move to just be like, yeah, you know how you've been fucking with me this whole time? Well, here, go fuck yourself. Fuck everything you're trying to do.
I'm quite surprised Tavlakov gave him the map.
He didn't. He held it up, and Kaladin reached through the bar and snatched that shit from him. He didn't hand it over to him.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, he held it up.
He just got too close to the cage,
yeah. Got him.
Yeah, Kaladin fucking got him good, too, man. Like, and Tavlakov, like, at first, it says, stood speechless, then red-faced. He pointed at Kaladin and hissed something at the mercenaries. Bluth took a step toward the cage, but then thought better of it. Like, Bluth, who sounds like a big dude, big mercenary, he's probably eating a lot better than Kaladin, but he still, like, looked in that cage and saw Kaladin, who's a big fucking dude. 19, like I said, he's got to be like 6'6" in that range. He looked at him and was like, nah. He's like, I'm not fucking going in there. It's like, you go get him if you want to get him. Like, that brings me back to that first, his first chapter as a slave, and he talks about someone tried to steal his food. Like, Bluth is clearly the much smarter person. Like, he's healthy and strong and has weapons, and he's like, I'm not fucking with that dude. But someone tried to steal his food like a freaking moron.
Well, that's kind of what I was wondering. I was wondering, is Bluth and Tag, are they scared, intimidated, or are they just, unwilling to exert the effort?
No, he's intimidated. Like, because if you remember, like in the chapter 2, when Bluth had to go in the cage to get the slave that was had the cough.
Yeah.
And like he was super jumpy around Kaladin. Like, he was worried, when Kaladin was coming towards him, like to say like, hey, all he needs is this or something. Like, Bluth about fucking shit his pants thinking Kaladin was coming at him. So he's extremely nervous around him.
When I read it, I thought it could be either, but yeah, it also seemed like it is saying a lot about Kaladin. And then, yeah, we get that, I think on the next page or so, that he's 19.
And it even says, like, after a few minutes of stewing at the cowardly mercenaries, Tavlakov rounded the cage and approached where Kaladin was sitting. So, he's trying to get across that Bluth is fucking scared of Kaladin.
It was very surprising to me to read that he's 19. I'm just assuming he's older, just given all the shit that he's going through. It seems like a reasonable assumption to assume that someone who, has already attained like all these accreditations of being like a force to be reckoned with in the worst of places, you would think this guy is in his like 20s, 30s. especially like 30s.
I always forget. I always have to remind myself how big he is because I think of Dalinar as like a fucking mountain and like just a giant fucking dude. And I always think of Kaladin as just like a normal sized guy until like then you get these reminders of how tall he is. And it's like, man, this dude's got to be fucking like big as shit. Dalinar must just be like fucking the mountain from fucking Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting point you bring up. I need reminders of that as well because I don't see him that way in my mind's eye when I read him.
No, like, because it's not, they don't even talk about him like he's like, a skinny twig of a man. Like, people are intimidated by him. So he's got to be fucking a stout fucking dude.
There must be a big difference with for example, Jasnah. For some reason, I always see her as tall.
Well, she's mentioned as
well. That's what I mean. It must be
woman,
it must
the
be
Lethi are seem to be abnormally tall compared to everybody else.
Well, yeah, it must be reiterated in a way that is more memorable than the way it gets reiterated with Kaladin. But also, he's sitting in a cart, so.
You hear it a lot, like characters that are not Alethi talking about like the Alethi and their fucking damn long legs and shit like that. Like when someone's trying to walk next to an Alethi and like trying to keep pace with them, you hear characters bitching about how long their fucking legs are and shit like that and how tall they are.
So weird.
Like if you're, it's like if you're trying to keep up with someone and you're a little fucking tiny girl and someone's just striding, just walking their normal stride, but they're fucking striding out. And you're like having to almost run and all they're doing is just walking in their normal stride, but you have to almost run to keep up. It'd be annoying.
That's one of the funnier things I haven't thought of in so long, but I used to get that all the time when we go out with women.
Yeah.
Go out with a bunch of chicks in the group or just one or two. Why do you guys walk so fast? It would always be like, why are you walking so fast? And they're trying to look cute, so they're wearing these shoes that fucking aren't made for walking. But you're like, what the, like, so I gotta like really slow my fucking pace to a point that it's uncomfortable for you to be comfortable. That's how this has to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like,
I've got them my whole
literally
life.
It's literally, I'm just walking. I'm not trying to speed walk.
You don't have you got them little tiny legs, so like you're taking little short steps, but you're taking so many steps. You're just like fast stepping. You're like speed walking. So it looks weird. Whereas like someone who's like super tall like me, like, I'm just taking normal, like fucking long fucking steps. And so, it's hard for women to keep up.
Jackass. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess that's the end of my reminiscence because that's literally some shit that used to happen all the fucking time. And it's funny because I just haven't thought about it in a long time. But I have two, we'll move on.
Yeah, and so you get, after a few minutes of stewing at the cowardly mercenaries, Tvlakv rounded the cage and approached where Kaladin was sitting. Surprisingly, when he spoke, his voice was calm. I see you are a clever deserter. You made yourself invaluable. My other slaves, they aren't from this area, and I have never come this way. You can bargain. What is it you wish in exchange for leading us? I can promise you an extra meal each day, should you please me. You want me to lead the caravan? Instructions will be acceptable. All right, first, find a cliff. That it will give you an advantage to see the area? No, Kaladin said. It'll give me something to throw you off of.
It is pretty funny how Tvlakv's giving him credit like, oh, okay, smart move.
Yeah.
Now you're positioned in a way where you can negotiate. And I'll negotiate with you.
And he's like, dude, I don't know where I am.
No.
I have no idea where I am. Did you not see me put up double middle fingers in your face?
Apparently, instead of ripping up the map, he needed to wipe his ass with it and then throw it at them instead. Even still, maybe he wouldn't have gotten the message. But I think he's getting it now.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. And he's like, because he's like, you hate me. That is good. Hatred will keep you strong, make you sell for much more. And then he's like, Kaladin's like, I don't want vengeance. And he says the Windspring came back. She darted off for a time to inspect one of the strange shrubs. She landed in the air and began walking around Tvlakv's face, inspecting him. He didn't seem to be able to see her. I love that. Like those kind of aspects of it, of the Spren, are interesting to me too. Is the fact that the other people can't see them. Mm-hmm. So when she's doing this, only Kaladin can see it, and so she's a little tiny figure, just like walking around his head and walking on air, inspecting him, like getting in there, and he has no idea that she's doing it. It would be, it's one of those ones where you would see someone talking to themselves and or seeing someone do something funny, but like you're the only one can see it. They're doing it behind someone's back and like trying not to laugh and shit like that. Like it's like that kind of element with the Spren. When you're the only one that can see it, you're either going to come off crazy or you're laughing at shit that no one else can see. And so it brings in an element of like, what is wrong with you, man? Why are you so fucking weird?
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely, and there's quite a few times that you see this with the people. They already have. I mean, Kaladin already stands out in a huge way to these other slaves, and frankly to everyone, as far as I've read. With Syl, it seems like there are points where she can be seen. As far as I've read, I think Rock, if I remember right, can see her at moments.
Yeah, he can see her the whole time.
Okay, and then when he does the spear deal, so he can see her, but then he's also like, but she's different, or she seems different, and we know she's different. We know she even knows that something's happening to her.
I don't know if Rock says that she's different, but like when he does his little spear move in the cavern, like the other people were like, we saw a Spren, but it was different.
Yeah. Well, no, what I mean to that effect is, well, everyone. Syl knows herself. She has actual recognition. And the fact that she even has recognition, she's realizing something's different here. Something's different from me.
Yeah.
Kaladin's also like, they're not supposed to be able to do these things. So there's something happening there. And that sort of feels like there's something's happening that's from on higher levels with Kaladin and Syl. Like he's being chosen to do something. It seems there's a selection. Again, it seems that's happening there that's showing that he's exceptional. At least this relationship is exceptional. And the fact that it is, in its own right, exceptional.
Yeah, I mean, it's talked about all the way through in these first two parts where, I mean, they're talking about how things are different. I mean, it's mentioned repeatedly that this is different. Something's weird. So even, the characters Syl explicitly saying, like, this is weird. Why do I know this stuff? Why am I remembering things? Why do I know this, that? Yeah. So then we get, Kaladin talking about like, that he's done with trying to get vengeance, that he's half-heartedly saying he's just accepting his fate. And Tavaka's like, you're young. You could escape this fate of yours. Men have been known to live beyond the slave's brands. You could pay off your slave price, you see, or convince one of your masters to give you freedom. You could become a free man again. It is not so unlikely, Kaladin snorted. I'll never be free of these brands, Tavlakov. You must know that I've tried and failed to escape 10 times over. It's more than these glyphs on my head that makes your mercenaries wary. Past failure does not prove that there's no chance in the future, yes? I'm finished, I don't care. He eyed the slaver. Besides, you don't actually believe what you're saying. I doubt a man like you would be able to sleep at night if he thought the slaves he sold would become free to seek him out one day. And I like the fact that Tavlakov's like, well, yeah, but I'm like your 10th owner. And so you're going to hunt down fucking Amaram. So all I have to do is stay up to date on how Amaran's doing.
I love that he says it and Kaladin goes 100% revealing, yeah, I'm all about vengeance.
Yeah.
I'll gut him with my own hands. Yeah. I'll twist his head right off his neck. It's perfect because he's like, I don't give a fuck about vengeance. It's not about that for me. And then 100% it is.
What about Amaram? Like, yeah, fuck that dude. I'll fucking murder him. I'll murder his family.
Yeah, it's interesting. This is what eventually Kaladin does talk about, how Tavlakov, he's a likable scumbag in so many ways. And this is part of it. When you read it, you're like, but he's right, though. Plus, he's got those bomb-ass eyebrows, So that's going on, too.
Yeah. Super fucking dope eyebrows that he combs behind his ears.
Oh,
Yeah,
man, I hope this catches on. I so hope somehow people start getting eyebrow extensions and just wearing this ridiculous getup. Slicking back over your bald head.
Yeah,
it's good look.
That is the best look. Slick them back behind your head, behind your ears, tie it around your chin so that, you know, that it doesn't flip back over. That'll hold it in place. And then you got hair with, I mean, you got obviously a terrible hairline because it's from your eyebrows, but it's cool, slick back hair. And then you got a cool beard, like, too. Like, yeah, so it's a cool look.
Well, I mean, it's you could tie it like it's like a Colonel Sanders, you know, and it's literally from eyebrows down. So eyebrows up, down the back, then Colonel Sanders tie at the neck.
Yeah.
The nape of the neck. That's so dope.
Yeah, bolo. You could like make it like a bolo fucking necktie with your eyebrows.
Oh man, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah, it's a good look. But yeah, and then so he talks about, you know, the map, and he's like, but now we must discuss how to proceed. My map has met with an untimely demise, you see. Kaladin hesitated, then sighed. I don't know, he said, honestly. I've never been this way either. T'Vlaka frowned. He leaned closer to the cage, inspecting Kaladin, though he still kept his distance. After a moment, T'Vlaka shook his head. I believe you, deserter. A pity. Well, I shall trust my memory. The map was poorly rendered anyways. I'm almost glad you ripped it, for I was tempted to do the same myself. If I should happen across any portraits of my former wives, I shall see that they cross your path and take advantage of your unique talents. He strolled away. Yeah, and then Kaladin's like, yeah, it's... So, you know... He's a likable piece of shit, and when you kill him, you end up feeling guilty for it.
So that part about his unique talents, that reminds me of, I think it was Tyrion that said that about Cersei, her talent of ripping papers in half, where she rips all these. I don't know if you remember that from Game of Thrones, but
don't.
Yeah, it's she has the writ of. What was it? When Ned becomes hand or something like that? Something. Oh no, it's about his about Baratheon heir, and she just rips it in half. And then someone makes that comment. It's like, oh, your talent of ripping things in half. But then actually, when you think about it, I think wasn't it Banksy? You know what I'm talking about? Banksy. He had like there was a auction for like, you know, super expensive fucking art. And one of his pieces got sold for, you know, $1 million plus, whatever, and then it shredded immediately.
Yeah, that's
like as soon as they did it, something went off, and it shredded half of it. If I remember, I shredded half of it. Yeah.
Did you see you see the artist that was like, he was commissioned to do some art for some group, and then like all he did was like, you know, took the money and ran. Or something like that. He just wrote like on a piece of paper or something like that and sent it to him. Like took the money and ran. That's my art. That's the art. And and they were suing him over it. But
it's an interpretation.
Speaking of Banksy, like figure that's got to be like one of J.P. Morgan's heirs or a Rockefeller heir, right?
Hmm?
Banksy.
Oh, because wow. Okay. Yeah, he's super.
See Banksy. What I did there?
He's all Banksy.
He's all about banks.
Bank of America, and Chase, JP Morgan Chase. Yeah.
No. He's just the son of a banker.
Yeah, he's all about like withdrawals and deposits and vaults.
Yeah.
Just being all Banksy about things.
Yeah.
Why are you being all Banksy all the time? The FDIC is all Banksy.
Banksy.
A lot of Banksy.
Yeah. Well, he was like, man, I was at Banks and I saw a lot of stuff. So Banksy.
Jesus.
They got C notes. They got C notes. Oh, Bank C.
Well, now you're making it something else. Now it's not the A bank or the B bank. It's the C bank.
He's versatile. C. He's very versatile. He's ambidextrous.
What if we're talking about a sperm bank? Then what happens with this thing?
Yeah, it becomes very gross. Very gross, very quick.
So he's all Banksy. He's like dripping in other people's sperm. Is that it?
Yeah. See, I told you.
Gross.
Told you. Just made it gross. Just ruined it. Fun little story about a little kid that grew up in a bank that became a famous artist. But yeah, and so Kaladin at this point, then we get that one of the parts of ripping up the map is that they were able to kind of predict the storms from that. So we learned the storms could be predicted mathematically. Kaladin's father had made a hobby of it. He'd been able to predict the right day 8 times out of 10. But you'd think, like, if it's a mathematical formula, like, I mean, once someone figures out 10. The formula, like, why are they not just all using the same formula?
Yeah, it should be 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Well,
if it's a mathematical formula, why is it still so guessy?
What guessy?
Like Banksy.
What is still strange about that is, yeah, if it's a mathematical formula, you would think it would be 100% or close to it. If it's still unpredictable, then it's not a mathematical formula, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we know how weather works to a degree. I mean, it's pressure systems and it's, you know, it's temperature and
it's obviously, it's obviously different here if there's a formula, but you would think if there is a formula, like if it's like, I'm curious, like maybe I don't know enough about mathematics to understand why there could be a mathematical formula that, you know, gets you 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how it's a formula. If
that would tell me there's certain elements that you can control for.
Yeah.
And that's what the mathematical equation controls for, right? And then the other two, what have you, elements you can't control for, those are the unpredictable elements. So those will be, you know, give you 8 out of 10 because of those or due to those. But yeah, it is interesting. I mean, I thought that was really cool. It's one of those things that like changes your entire perspective of how this world works. It's in a way it's a small thing. It took a couple words to deliver it, right? But it completely sort of changes the way you feel about the world in itself. You know, how you sort of augment yourself in terms of how we see people living in this world.
They talk it. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say it's another thing that tells you Kaladin's father's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Right. He had a lot of abilities and a very moral character driven dude. And he's a cool character. I maybe I'll find out more about him, but from the bit that I've learned from it in terms of Kaladin's upbringing, he seems to be a pretty interesting character.
I like too that, you know, they talk about the lightning. And he's like, occasionally light would flash without the thunder. The slaves would groan and tear at this, thinking about the Stormfather, the shades of the lost radiance, or the Voidbringers, all of which were said to haunt the most violent high storms. But just that light would flash without the thunder. I living here, you know, we get storms all the fucking time in the summer. And we get some nasty thunderstorms where, like, we'll see the lightning go sideways all the way across the sky and you're just waiting for the thunder and it never comes. Or I've been out, I was driving and it started raining so hard that I had to pull over. I couldn't see. And so I pull over and I got out of my car and I was just, you know, standing under, like, by some store under their overhang area, and this lightning hit. And it was probably 200, 300 yards away from me. It was fucking close, where it was a big ass bolt of lightning. And I saw it like hit. And then like a split second later, it sounded like the biggest explosion ever, where like it made me jump out of my skin, where I immediately was like, whoa, fuck, I'm getting in my car and getting the fuck out of here.
What did it hit? Did you
hit the ground?
Wow.
And I mean, it was close enough where it was the biggest lightning bolt I've ever seen, and it hit, and it's like, holy shit, that was loud. That's why you hear the thunder, where it's loud thunder, even though
Yeah.
like the lightning's in a big distance. Because when it hit close to me, I was like, man, that sounded like a massive explosion just went off.
Yeah. I mean, living in California for as long as I have, there's fucking no storms out here. But in the Midwest, there's been quite a few times where I remember as a kid, it sounded like fucking hell outside my window. And looking out the window, and I don't know if we were just like in the eye of some crazy storm, but it was the entire scene was purple.
Mm-hmm.
Entire sky's purple, and you're just seeing lightning flashes from all over the place. Like, and funny enough, like a few weeks ago, that actually did occur out here, which I've lived in California like 16 years, and twice maybe I've seen thunderstorms, literal thunderstorms. And we were seeing like tons of lightning, which was interesting because we are moving. So my kids being able to see it, but my 3-year-old was pretty scared trying to go to sleep with all the thunderclaps. But it's like, man, you're gonna have to get used to this. Like,
Well, most of the time out here, it's not thunderstorms. It's just heavy rain. But yeah, we do get some occasional times where that, it's a massive fucking thunderstorm where it's just like sounds like explosions are going off.
I dig it. I mean, I don't know if a big part of it is just being away from it for as long as I have been, but I kind of like it. It's interesting. I mean, if nothing else, all that static electricity sort of builds and you can like feel it coming in the air. And yeah, it's kind of cool. It's interesting. Sky gets all crazy.
I'm not a huge fan of the rain, but luckily, like most of the time it rains super hard for like 40 minutes and then stops. We don't get tons of rain where it's like raining all day and shit like that. That's what always sucked like in the Midwest is like all of a sudden it just starts raining for 4 days in a row where it's just like raining nonstop. It's like, nuts. Fuck this.
That's what basements are for. That's what Nintendo was for. Yeah. Like you just or play GTA for a few days and sit in the basement.
But yeah, these storm walls, they do not sound all that fun. It sounds like hurricanes just up and pop up out of fucking nowhere, that they can semi-predict and they can get pretty close, but it's not an exact science. But regardless, it's hurricanes all the fucking time.
Yeah, it sounds like they're sudden hurricanes, and they're serious as shit. They even build the their caravan for it because it just comes up on them. They also mention the weeping when they talk about the seasons. And during seasons of weaker storms following the weeping, that sounds like monsoon season to me.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, I don't. Part of the thing I don't understand though is like they talk about the storms can like pick up boulders and toss them. Like, how's a caravan surviving that? It's like because like if you see a hurricane go through a trailer park and they can fucking tie that shit down to the ground all they want, like. Most of them are going to get fucking tore the fuck up.
Yeah, it's you would think that the roof's getting pulled off. The whole thing's getting thrown over.
And like those hurricanes are not like picking up, it's not like picking up fucking 50-pound boulders and tossing them. It's not like picking up cars and shit. If it's moving a car, it's just like moving it. It's not like picking them up and throwing them. Mm. But yeah, I don't know. You could think maybe these boulders are like 20-pound boulders or something like that.
That could also be that could be just an example of at times it can get that crazy. And they mention, I think if I remember right, like one time since Kaladin's been in there, the caravan fell to its side. Right?
Yeah.
The wagon.
Yeah, he said because he says like one and got dented up, and then they had a few bruises and got a little dented up, but they were able to keep going, didn't destroy it or anything like that. So regardless, like if you have all this shit, you would have to like they do, and he's building into society. They build up their cities, have walls to protect against the winds. The winds are only blowing in from one direction, so that's different too. And they, if for the the travelers, the traders and shit, if they're out in the open, they gotta be prepared to be able to deal with this. So they can't just have some rickety fucking wagons. They gotta have some sturdy ass wagons to be able to withstand this shit. So you gotta be prepared. Just having hurricanes just popping up all the time, you would have to your world would be completely different.
Yeah.
To be able to survive it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess that shows in terms of the designs of their cities. And I mean, that again, it's necessary.
Yeah, it's different. It's weird that it makes the system. It makes it interesting, and the uniqueness, like having random hurricanes pop up would do to a people, and make you harder people too. Like you're gonna have to knuckle up and fucking war through shit.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it. It did seem like, I mean, maybe it was just me how I read it, but farming seems fairly easy. Like they have these big polyp things that grow large as a man's head, and then you just break it open, and there's a bunch of grain inside it, and it seems like these things can grow virtually anywhere. Like you just spreads. I mean, the way it's described, at least in this section, you could spread stump weight sap on them. Talking about the uncultivated hillsides, mixed with seeds during seasons of weaker storms, and 4 months you'd have polyps larger than a man's head growing all along the hill, ready to break open for the grain inside. Their vegetation seems interesting. I mean, we've talked about it in the last one, but it is really interesting about how it'll come out. It has like a accelerated agency, I guess you could say, where it'll come out when there's nothing around, then it'll have to go back in and hide basically to protect itself.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool to consider.
Yeah, it's very different. I mean, everything about the world is designed in a way that has to deal with the fact that there's fucking hurricanes rolling through everywhere. I mean, he did a good job in building the society where everything about it is they're having to fucking deal with this shit.
Well, and when you say it's very different, in a way, it's not. I mean, it's similar in the sense that it's what vegetation does today. I mean, flowers bloom at different times. The seeds pop out at different times when it makes sense for the vegetation itself to survive and to flourish. But here, it just seems it's very much accelerated.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't literally see. You can see it on planet Earth, because they record the shit and then they'll time lapse it for. I don't know how many hours they time lapse it, and it seems like grows real quick and then comes down. But yeah, here they seem to have very much accelerated. Again, I don't know how else to say it, but accelerated like agency where they can real.
Well, quickly. I mean, just like the plants are protecting themselves from it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just built different, so it's everything about it is built around that system. But yeah, and then. Well, one of the other parts they talk about too is, when they're in this storm, it's not only just the intensity of being in this crazy storm and you're just in a wagon, but if Tvlakov dies, then they're screwed. Because they're like, man, like Bluth and the other guys, they're just going to take off and they're just going to leave us here to fucking starve to death.
They're trapped in a cage.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah. Yeah, that's wild.
But to me, like, why would I don't know, like, if I'm Bluth and those guys, why would it, just because Tvlakov dies, like, I'm just going to finish the trip.
I was going to say,
I'm going to at least try to go and take them and sell them. Yeah. And then I'm just going to leave them to die. That sounds stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even think of it in terms of cattle herds, or cattle drivers. You don't just abandon it because, I don't have to deal with it now.
Yeah.
You ain't going to get paid. Yeah. So, why were you doing this in the first place? Out of loyalty? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't imagine, like, Tvlakov's just rolling in dough. Like, he's got, like, a chest of gold coins that they can just fucking take and run off with. I think Tvlakov's money is tied in the slaves. So I think if you're running off, you're just basically not getting paid.
That's what it seems like.
So, yeah, and then we have Bluth coming in. He's taking down the sides on the wagons, and he's letting the rain hit him. And so he's starting to prepare him, like they're asking what's going on, and he's letting them know we're almost there. We're getting close to where we need to be. And then it was presently a translucent ribbon of light zipped up to Kaladin. He was coming to take the Windsprint's present for granted. She had gone out during the storm, but she'd come back, as always. I saw others of your kind, Kaladin said idly. Others? She asked, taking the form of a young woman. She began to step around him in the air, spinning occasionally, dancing to some unheard beat. Windsprint, Kaladin said, chasing after the storm. Are you certain you don't want to go with them? She glanced westward longingly. No, she finally said, continuing her dance. I like it here. There are others near, she said, others like you. Slaves? I don't know. People. Not the ones here. Other ones. Where? She turned a translucent white finger toward eastward. There, many of them. Lots and lots. And when Kaladin looks out, he sees, it's the fucking army. He sees, there's, the smoke in the background, and he sees he's in the fucking place that he wanted to go to from the beginning. The whole place where he was trying to get. The reason he went after that guy to kill him was like, I'm going to take this dude out, and then they'll have to send me to the fucking Shattered Plains.
Yeah, now he gets to go.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So everything worked out.
I like, when Syl is, talking to him here, I can't help but picture she's dancing, she's twerking the whole time.
Yeah.
As she's talking to him about this stuff, which seems very distracting.
Yeah, no, that's 100% what everybody pictures Syl doing is just twerking the entire time she's on the page.
And, she's pointing, and then she's like, oh, here's where we're going. I don't know, I saw these people. Yeah.
Listening to unheard beat is, listening to nothing but Tupac.
She's twerking to Tupac, huh? Interesting. Okay. I'll buy it.
But yeah, so you get that they're at the Shattered Plains. Kaladin whispered, what? The Windsprint asked, what's wrong? Kaladin shook his head, bemused. I spent years trying to get to this place. It's what Tien wanted, in the end at least, to come here, fight in the King's army. And now Kaladin was here, finally, accidentally. He felt like laughing at the absurdity. I should have realized, he thought. I should have known. We weren't ever heading toward the coast and its cities. We were heading here, to war. Yeah, that would be a fucked up aspect of it is, that your whole desire was to get here, to be fighting for this fucking army that is, you think of as respectful and, these are real soldiers, these are real fighters, these are upstanding guys, and then you get there and then they're just fucking treating you like absolute dog shit and fucking sending you out to die. There's no honor. They're all a bunch of pieces of shit. And it's like, man, I was a naive fucking kid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the character arc and how we learn of who he is and why he has these motivations to begin with. It all ends up making sense. But you are kind of like, what was this dude's history? Like, why is this his goal? Why is this his thing? And then you do get it, and you do get all that delivered. But yeah, it's very, I think it's the sobering nature that a lot of people probably feel when they go to war.
Yeah.
Like all that honor and stuff that they think is all tied up in it. And it's like, oh, this is just the absolute pinnacle of human brutality.
Yeah, it's
not so cool.
Yeah, I mean, to the point. I mean, there's so much not what he thought. Like they're 100% the opposite. They're way where like he thought like the group he was with was a bunch of ragtag fucking jackasses fighting a war. And then it gets to another group and it's like, yeah, they're better trained, but they are garbage people willing to fucking sacrifice you, without any kind of hesitation.
Yeah.
Sacrificing slaves left and right, just masses of them getting fucking wiped out on these runs.
It is interesting how his, I mean, it does such a good job that reality that Sanderson creates does a tremendous job of building out how Kaladin is different and how it can be different and how he sees all of this in a different way, in a different light, and that there can be, the brotherhood of soldiers that take care of one another and that sort of thing, where he can have them fight better, right? Still the same shit. They're still just murdering each other, but they can at least fight together, where they can bring a better force to bear upon the situation, rather than, like you said, was it Gaz? I mean, he's just wasting people. He didn't give a fuck. Like, he's a complete scumbag. He's about.
But imagine you get Kaladin, and he's going to be running bridges for you, and you're just running this dude into the ground, and you have no care for him. He's just another body to throw out an arrow, and it's like just the absolute waste. Like, I mean, you have like probably the at worst a top 1% soldier that would be in this army, and you're just throwing them out there to be fucking murked by an arrow, like just wasting him for nothing.
It's pretty great that it's acknowledged by Kaladin himself. I mean, the reason why he hates him so much is because of the fact that he does it out of bitterness.
Yeah,
like he just doesn't like him from the get-go. So he's just gonna waste his life. It's like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like,
that's their like all of them. They're all like that. I mean, like they're all like, fuck those guys. The whole point is for them. Like when Sadeas talks about it, he's like, yeah, the whole fucking point. And he's like, why don't you give them fucking armor? It's like, because then they don't shoot at him.
Jesus, yeah, it's fucking brutal.
Yeah. He's like, the whole point is to fucking make sure that they're the targets. And so, like, talk about a fucking waste is when you put like a guy that would be, one of the fucking best, if not the best soldiers in your army, and you're sending him out there with the intention of having him fucking get fucking wasted by arrows.
Well, and then that's a big part of what it sort of feeds into, is like, so what are we doing? Like, so what are we actually doing? It seems like they all just go to the plains, then we all attack each other, and then someone will win, whatever. But there's what's the end goal? I mean, maybe I need to keep reading to find that out, but it seems like they're just getting some of these gem hearts, right? That's kind of the goal, but and there is also the getting shard plate, but what else? It seems like, is this is what we do? This is part of life. I'm a soldier, so where's the battle?
It seems extremely wasteful. Like, I mean, I like, obviously from Sadeas's perspective is like, we're running these guys out there and we're moving faster than everybody else because we can go with lighter fucking bridges and blah, blah, blah. And so they're moving quickly. And so there's that advantage. They can get where they need to go quicker than other groups that, might take a more cautious approach. And these guys are expendable to them, but still, it's just like, it's such a fucking waste. Like, I mean, when you're killing that, you're churning up that many bodies. Just think of like, if you just stack those bodies up, as far as just like build your army, like your army would just be, instead of tossing these guys away, fucking just build units, and then you might move slower, but you would eventually your numbers would grow to points. If you can replace them that fast, then you could be churning out battalions, a new battalion fucking constantly.
Put a little bit of effort into training and arming them up to a degree, and seems a lot more worthwhile than just churn them out to move a bridge, and then the expectation.
It seems extremely short-sighted. Like, you're just you're sacrificing the future for today.
Yeah,
so it doesn't seem like a super smart long-term strategy.
Well, and again, what's the objective? If the objective is let's just stay here and waste lives, well, then I guess you're accomplishing that task. Yeah.
But and so then it ends with, the other slaves kept talking about the king's army and about justice, Kaladin thought, resting against the bars. I'm not convinced there is such a thing as justice. Still, he found himself wondering, that was the king's army, the armies of all 10 high princes, come to fulfill the vengeance pact. If there was one thing he still let himself long for, it was the chance to hold a spear, to fight again, to try and find his way back to the man he had been, a man who had cared. If he would find that anywhere, he would find it here. Which is interesting because, like where you ended up, where you see him with the spear, like, once he grabs that spear and he just like goes through the motions, but then once he realizes everybody's watching him, he immediately like fucking chucks that thing away.
Yeah, it seems like he becomes very much alive. I mean, and there's also the part that tells the story too, when he's younger and he's back where he grew up and he's still a student, what have you, and he picks up the spear the first time, and it's like it felt like this is what I'm here for. This is my purpose.
Yeah,
so it makes total sense that he ends up down this road. I don't know yet how he became deserter / slave, but it seems very natural that, and we also see him on the battlefield, and how great a leader he is there, and that it seems to be him in his natural element. So no wonder this is the road he went down.
Yeah, it's a rough start to the book for Kaladin in these first 11 chapters. Like it's not only like it starts it off where it seems like it's going to be like a good start for him, and then it just progressively gets worse and worse and worse until he's ready to fucking off himself. Where it's like, man, it's a fucking brutal start. Finally, like in the second part, it's like, okay, now we're fine, kind of starting to ride up again. But man, that opening section for Kaladin is rough.
It's a really interesting balance as well, because he has these abilities and he has these wants and he has these desires to like help and everything else. So you get that combatants within him. But then, yeah, he's everything that's happening around him is extraordinarily negative and pushing upon him, except for Syl. And I mean, he feeds into that anger and that hostility to a huge degree.
Yeah. So
I am curious about the slave debt. A slave could apply his earnings to his slave debt, and after years of labor, earn his freedom. And then we see there's corruption within the slavers, so you can't really. We find out. I don't think we'll get into it in this episode, but we'll find out that when the slave is exchanged, they actually exchange a ledger that shows how much they've paid towards their debt. Who sets the debt? I'm curious about how that system in itself works, what the debt is set at, what constitutes what that debt is set at, and it seems like Kaladin's not really the most dependable narrator, because he's kind of a bummer. Yeah. So the idea that you can pay your slave debt, he's like, yeah, that'll never happen.
Hey, he's probably like, right. They're I mean, if you got a system where like, the slaves are fucking working off their debt and freeing themselves a lot, like, I mean, you're defeating the whole purpose of the whole slave thing. Unless you're constantly turning everybody into slaves, and it's just a constant wheel of people coming in and out of slavery.
Yeah, it seems like a system that's not going to function.
Well, we definitely don't. It's not like we see, weekly slaves getting free. Like, oh, I'm free now. It's like, hey, peace out, guys. I'll see you. See you on the flip side. Like, there's no one talking about like, oh well, old Johnny got out of here. It's good to see. He was a good dude. I'm glad to see he got his freedom back.
From what I can tell, or from the vibe that we're given, it seems like they're just barely surviving.
Yeah,
barely hoping to survive. And,
yeah, it seems like these are just like little carrots to keep these guys. Doing this fucking awful work.
Yeah, it seems like there's this empty promise that is out there just to dangle in front of them. But yeah, it seems fairly empty.
You can't crush, like, you wouldn't want to crush all their hope, because if they have no hope, they're all just fucking jumping off the fucking cliff.
Yeah, they're all just going to be suicidal and nothing to shoot for. And even still, it takes somebody like Kaladin, who seems extraordinarily rare, to even get them to try above the minimal of effort.
Had to introduce themselves.
Yeah, you're right. Even tell their story, even have a semblance of humanity.
Just saying their name is like they don't even want to do that in the beginning. So yeah, they got a rough life. I don't envy it. But yeah, that's all I got on old Kaladin in the Shattered Plains. His next chapter is I can't wait for it. It's chapter 6. It's gonna be a fun one to talk about. Even though it's not a fun experience for Kaladin, it's a fun chapter to read.
Oh yeah, Bridge 4. It's dope shit, man.
Yeah. But that's all I got on 4.
Me as well.
All right, so in chapter 5, titled Heretic, we are back with Shallan. She meets up with Jasnah. Jasnah tests her, does not like her responses, doesn't want to teach her, and then we also see Jasnah use her soulcaster to save Taravangian's granddaughter. But Jasnah ends up turning Shallan down, tells her she's not willing to bring her on as a ward.
Yeah, pretty cool. I definitely dig. They're the two of them getting more and more about the two of them. They're both really interesting characters, as far as I can tell thus far, and it's a pretty cool chapter.
Yeah, and we get the death rattle is I've seen the end and I've heard it named the Night of Sorrows, the True Desolation, the Everstorm, collected on the 1st of Nans, 1172, 15 seconds pre-death. Subject was a dark-eyed youth of unknown origin. So again, like, this one it sounds more prophetic, talking about like I've seen the Night of Sorrows, the True Desolation, the Everstorm. The previous one seemed less prophetic than this one. This one sounds like, someone making a prediction. So it's a little bit different. But yeah, so it starts off with Shallan going up and she sees Jasnah Glenn and she's like, she didn't expect her to be so beautiful. It was a stately and mature beauty, as one might find in the portrait of some historical scholar. Shallan realized that she'd naively been expecting Jasnah to be an ugly spinster, like the stern matrons who had tutored her years ago. How else could one picture a heretic well into her mid-30s and still unmarried? Ugh. Mid-30s. Gross.
Jesus. It is funny how much Shallan throws in here heretic about so many different qualities about her.
Yeah, obviously Shallan's much more religious. She's very religious, whereas Jasnah is obviously an atheist.
Yes, and it seems to definitely it gives Shallan a lot of reason to make assumptions, but she's not even really certain about her assumptions. It seems like she has not been confronted with many atheists in her time.
No, yeah, it seems like most of the world is religious. It seems a very religious world to the point that, Jasnah is like super well known as being, a heretic. Like everybody knows her as that. So it's very very noteworthy that she's an atheist in their world. But yeah, and we get, that the Alethi, they are tall compared to the rest of the world, to where when that's one of the big things she notes on is how tall she is. She's way taller than Taravangian, and she's like, man, their reputation is fucking spot on. These fuckers are tall as shit.
Yeah, I mean, even the introduction here, she's speaking to who we find out ends up being a minor king, and she's several fingers taller than that man, than him. So, the Alethi reputation for height was no exaggeration.
And she's wearing her soulcaster. So, soulcaster, it's always been hard for me to picture in my mind. I guess, I just kind of read past a lot of the descriptions of things. I'm bad on, like, when I'm going through a book for the first time, when people are describing everything, I just kind of pass over it because I know I'll forget it. So, like, I it's not like I don't read it. I just don't like stop and think about what it would look like. I just roll right through that shit. When people describe rooms or outfits or hair and shit like that, I'm blowing right past that. So like I've not really pictured a soulcaster until like I was going through taking notes and actually stopping and thinking about it.
I totally picture like a 1980s rapper, like a Biz Markie or someone, where you have the rings that all form one ring.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like what do you call those? Brass knuckles, but it's just a big ring. There's got to be a name for it. It just says like dope.
Yeah,
something like that.
That's what they look like, and
that's what I'm picturing. Yeah,
obviously, it's not exactly the same, but Jasnah does have grills. I mean, she's got diamond grills, and they don't talk about them, but she definitely has them. It's one of her most noteworthy. One of the things that's very noteworthy about her, but that they don't mention.
Well, I mean, yeah, the bracelet connected by several chains, right? Gemstones. Yeah. So she's blinging the fuck out.
She's 7 chains.
She's nice. I see her doing a lot of beatboxing. I mean, we don't read about it. But
that's what I think of with Jasnah, is someone who's like a real free-loving person, great personality, fucking love into beatbox in her free time. You just got to get past that tough outer shell that she has. But once you get in her inner circle, she's constantly fucking in her book of rhymes, just fucking writing down mad fucking rhymes.
I'm picturing a big part of what she's doing when people aren't watching. She's playing dice in the corner.
Yeah,
a lot of dice games in these palaces, right? She's running dice games, and she's doing a lot of beatboxes. She starts a cipher and gets it going with a few people. They're all just freestyling and whatnot.
Jasnah is a lot like that. The character from what's that? Not Boys in the Hood, but the other one from back in the day, Menace to Society, like the fucking real gangster kid.
Jeez,
that's Jasnah.
Okay.
What was that kid's name in that movie? I can't remember. He was like one of the most
same actor. It's same actor that's in Dead Presidents.
Yeah. He's been in a bunch of stuff. Dead President.
Tate.
Yeah. The Postman. Yeah.
I can't remember the character's name, but yeah, he's
Omar.
Absurd. He
Omar.
Kills a dude in like a convenience store, and then like watches the tape over and over again and keeps it. Like fucking idiot, man.
I still think of that line, like where like the guy comes up to him for like a fucking cheeseburger. It's like, man, I'll suck your dick, and he like pulls out his gun and kills the dude over it.
Wow.
Like some bum comes up to him, offers to blow him for his cheeseburger, and he did not take kindly to that. He was very homophobic about it.
Apparently. Wow.
Yeah, he did not take kindly to that offer and kills the dude over it. But I still think of that line as like, and whenever you're desperate for something, it's like, man, I'll suck your dick. It's like, for a cheeseburger? Jesus, dude. There's got to be better ways to get a fucking cheeseburger.
Yeah, that's I mean, wash a car. I mean,
stand on the corner with your hand out.
Yeah, you could do that.
You could eventually get one. They're not that expensive.
Especially
like you could get like a cheeseburger for like 99 cents at fucking McDonald's. Like
back then, it would have been like 49 cents, I think.
Dude, like
that.
if you're gonna blow some random dude for a cheeseburger, you better be getting like 40 cheeseburgers. At least. You're selling yourself. He was selling himself short.
I would say at least.
He was definitely selling himself short.
Yeah, he should be definitely raising the bounty.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen Menace to Society, spoiler alert, that happens.
Yeah. Spoiler. Yeah, that's a big part of the plot sequence there.
No. But yeah, I like to give the spoiler alerts so they're ready for it. Yeah,
you want to give it after.
Yeah. I like to let them know that I just spoiled a part for them, just in case they weren't aware. But yeah, and then so we see, Jasnah's unmarried, in her 30s, tall as shit, hot, got her fucking 7 chains, Fucking, I guess it's
She's
just like a
also
triangular
powerful.
group of gemstones across the back of her hand. So it almost seems like a glove type of thing, like a power glove.
A power glove. Well, I mean, it sounds like, I mean, I wasn't fully being ridiculous. Rings, bracelet, and then those are connected.
Yeah.
And then there's gemstones across the back. So, yeah, it sounds pretty ostentatious, really, something that's definitely making a little show. And then obviously she's got it on that hand that she can show because I believe she's hiding the other one. Which
Oh,
is
dude, can you imagine if it was on the other hand? It'd be so fucking pornographic.
Yeah. Well, that and no one would see it if it was on the other hand and hidden.
Ah, fuck.
I don't know if that matters.
If she was showing it, yeah, it's if you made a movie out of this and you put that soulcaster on the left hand and she's showing that left hand, immediately, NC-17.
Just because of the context of the book.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing the back of someone's hand is not erogenous typically, but I guess in this world,
in this world it is. But they got very different standards. And I like too, though, the fact that Shallan, when she sees it, she's like, starts to inch closer. Heart began to beat a little faster. Looked identical to the one she and her brothers had found inside the pocket of her father. So you start to get like, she's focused in on it, and she's very. It doesn't tell you why until the end, but like as it's leading up, he just kind of shows like she is very fucking zeroed in on this soulcaster. Which at first you're just thinking it's just because it's a crazy, awesome, powerful tool.
Yeah. The chapter's great, man. I mean, in terms of Shallan's, anxieties about her worries about would she be angry because of her tardiness. She really couldn't be blamed for that. I mean, she's kind of weighing, and we're getting fed also the background of like how much Shallan had to work to get to this point and how much it means, how much it might not mean, because a lot hasn't been said. I mean, she hasn't been given a lot of guidance from Jasnah thus far. It seems like a lot of what Jasnah's done to this point is test her by not being available.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's not like they're having like conversations. They don't know each other at all. Like, I mean, it's just like, I fucking dipped out of that party. I'm going to a different one. Like, she just keeps showing up fucking late and having to go and meet her at the next fucking spot. That would get annoying real fucking quick. Like, hey, meet me here. Like, okay, I'll meet you there. Like, oh, I left. Now meet me here. Like, oh, you fucking suck. You only get one of those opportunities.
I was gonna say, for me, maybe one, possibly two. There'd have to be a lot going on for me to be willing to go twice. Yeah. Past that, probably never hang out with you again. Just based on that shit.
If someone is like following you like that far behind every time, you're gonna be like, man, you seem so desperate. Like, I don't even want to hang out with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the other the other part of it. Like, what the fuck is this?
Like, don't you have any self-respect for yourself? Why would you keep following me when
not to go
like if someone did what I did to you, like, I would hate that person and you still kept following me. What's wrong with you? Why are you like that?
What you've described is a drug dealer and a drug addict.
Yeah.
That is what you've just described.
Yeah.
That's the person that's going to be willing to keep following because, well, he'll suck your dick for a cheeseburger.
Yeah. That is a relationship druggies have with drug dealers, except for if the drug dealer just got a new stash. And then it's the exact opposite.
Or it's he needs
like, hey, you need anything? You need anything? I'm flush. I got a lot of stuff. Like, oh, you're out of cash?
You got any friends? You got any other people? Yeah, now he's asking for referrals.
Yeah.
The tides have turned.
Yeah.
Right?
How the turntables have...
Wait.
What?
How the turntables have
that's
scratched together.
That's the Michael Scott fucking bit when he comes up after he'd like started the Michael Scott paper company, And when he comes up they're offering him, to buy him out, and he comes up there and like immediately blows it on his saying. He's like, how the turntables have, and then he realized he fucked it up and just stops, and he just doesn't say anything else.
I just tries to put some intensity into that moment. Yeah. Sounds about right. Classic character.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Hilarious shit. And we also get in here that when she overhears them, they're saying, Taravangian saying, realize that this action might prompt an unfavorable reaction from the devotaries. And so the devotaries are like religious congregations. It's like different aspects of their religion. Like they devote themselves to different aspects of the. I can't remember exactly what the different parts are, because it's not a huge focus of the story. But they just like pick a different aspect, like say like inquisitiveness or something like that, and they just focus hardcore on that aspect of their god. And so they devote they create the religion is built around focus on one particular aspect of their god.
That's funny, because like in our world, it seems like the different sects of religion, there's all these break-offs of Christianity that just focus on their particular hang-up of one part of the story. Or if not necessarily one, but, like Jesuits versus... of course, I can't think of examples now. But, there's all these different sects that break off of just based off of one particular event being debatable, right, versus another. So I don't know if it's like that. I kind of like the way that you described it, where it's more of a focus on a particular lesson.
Yeah, so the different one, some of the ones I mentioned. There's the devotary of sincerity, devotary of insight, devotary of purity, devotary of denial. Like, so they say like the devotary of sincerity, members of this devotary worship the Almighty, but are guided by the belief that there are always more answers to be found, always something to learn. Amongst the membership, one is never penalized for asking questions, even those challenging Vorinism's own tenets. Members are found mainly in Vadenar. And so it's like different sects of the religion that they just are hyper focused on one, particular aspect of their god. They're all worshiping the same god. They're just hyper focused on different aspects of it.
I mean, makes sense.
So
I buy it.
He's mentioning that, by helping him, that, she could be pissing off one of these groups or multiples of these groups.
Him who? Oh, you're talking about
Taravangian. Taravangian mentions, he says, realize that this action, using a soulcaster, and the reason he's saying that this might prompt an unfavorable reaction is the soulcasters are seen as like religious instruments. Like almost everybody who has a soulcaster is a member of the Vorin Church.
Yeah, no, I remember there's a point where they describe, or I think it's Shallan describes how rare it is it's extraordinarily rare for a heretic.
Yeah, I mean, it's like almost all of them are owned by members of the church, an ardent. And so for her to have one is especially galling. So for her to be using one of these soul casters, that's what causes the problem, is the fact that it's a heretic using basically like a religious instrument in their eyes.
It's so funny how if you're living in that world, I could totally see how you would feel a similar way. But reading it, you're totally, at least I'm totally on Jasnah Kolen's side.
Yeah, because you're like, well, hey, what the fuck's it matter? Why wouldn't she be? Why shouldn't she be able to use it? She saved a little kid. What's the problem? Are you being bitches?
Yeah.
But it's, we have that aspect in our world. Like, go to a Catholic church and go through and eat the whatever the wafer and drink the wine, and then tell them you're not Catholic afterwards. They can see how that goes. They will not be fucking happy. I remember my cousin, who is an atheist, and we were at a funeral, and like most of my family's Catholic, and big Irish, Italian Catholic fucking family. They're all Catholics. And so we were in the church, and they were having everybody go up. It's at a funeral. They were having everybody go up. So like everybody stands up, and like the pews start emptying, and one by one, and like my cousin just kind of gets ushered out with his pew as everybody in that pew got in line. And so he just kind of walked with them. And like I see him getting in line, and it's like does he not know like he's not supposed to be joining in this religious fucking thing as he's an atheist? Like he clearly does not know how bad this would piss these people off if they knew like they were fucking doing this for an atheist, much less someone who's even not a Catholic. It would be a problem. Like if you're supposed to go up, like if you go up and you're not, for a religion, you're not a Catholic or something, you're like supposed to cross your arms, and they just give you do a little da-da-da thing, and you're supposed to walk off. But yeah, he's got his old wine and cracker, and I was dying, man. I was making fun of him so bad for that. He's like, man, I don't know. I got in line, and I didn't know what to do at that point.
He just went with the flow.
Yeah, he's like, I just kept going.
That's funny. Well, some people take that very
you got a fucking drinking problem. It's like if someone said they got wine, you just like hop up and like, I don't care what the consequences are.
What wine?
I'm getting that wine.
Jesus.
But yeah, so there's that, those kind of things in this world as well. But then she comes up to Shallan. And she's like, yes, brightness, said the robed man. He was elderly with a wispy white beard and had pale gray eyes. His open, kindly face seemed very concerned, and he wore a squat, cylindrical hat that matched the orange and white of his robes, rich robes. Was this some kind of a royal steward, perhaps? No. Those gemstones on his finger, the way he carried himself, the way other light-eye attendants deferred to him. Stormfather, Shallan thought. This has to be the king himself, not Jasnah's brother Elhokar, but the king of Kharbranth, Taravangian. And so then she performs a curtsy, which Jasnah noted. And it keeps mentioning that Jasnah noted that she was there. She saw her do the curtsy. Mm-hmm. So even though she's in a conversation with Taravangian, she knows what the fuck's going on around her. She's cognizant of her surroundings. She's paying attention. So it's just giving you that little bit of her personality, that she's very much cognizant of what is going on around her. And go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, she seems very adept, very sharp, very bright.
Yeah.
I think it's past Jasnah Kholin. She seems to see all of it.
Yeah, and I like the fact that, when she goes and starts talking to Shallan, I like their interaction. It's kind of interesting. Although, like, if I was Shallan, I would have probably fucking thrown a couple punches. Like, I don't care who the fuck you are. You better learn how to fucking talk to me with a little more respect, lady.
Yeah, she's it's a little bit yeah, she doesn't pull punches, that's for sure. Jasnah, she fucking drives right at it. And but it's interesting because she does give her a little bit like, I'm impressed by your tenacity, child. I honestly didn't expect you to follow me. Like, she gives her a little bit, but then she's like she's pretty rude in terms of her abilities, and where she's at in terms,
And it seems like she's just completely either unconscious of how rude she sounds, like she's just either unconscious of like the, social cues, or she just does not give a shit.
It seems to me, I still sort of feel like it's intentional, as if she was trying to see if she could get a rise out of Shallan. That's
To
what it
an
sort of
extent,
seemed like
yeah.
to me, that she was testing her in that way. But yeah, it's also hard to tell if she's just kind of a rude bitch to everybody. I mean, she is a mid-30s spinster, right?
Yeah.
She's alone
Yeah.
for a reason. She's fucking walking
I
around
always
being a
think
dick
of
to
that,
everybody.
like when, Denna talks about, like, when she's in Traben, and she's that old lady with the cat with the
It's the same
anus
thing
mouth.
I thought of. Yeah.
When she calls her a spinster, I immediately think of that, like, fucking old fucking anus mouth.
I thought of the
cat
same
lady.
exact thing. Yeah, it's such a great, like a mouth like a cat's anus.
Yeah.
And it it stuck with me so much.
Yeah.
And yeah, the same thing I thought of when she talked about the spinster here.
I was
It's so funny,
it's like in my head, I was like, old anus mouth, Jasnah.
Although she sounds quite a bit more attractive
Yeah.
than old anus mouth, but I get the feeling.
Well, we don't know. Like, old
is
anus
there.
mouth was old. Like, maybe she was real hot when she was 35 too.
But I think the point of, well, one of the points of the anus mouth is that she's like puckered face asshole, like asshole, like literally, just a freaking jerk, bad attitude, judgmental, bad attitude.
But yeah, and so Jasnah was impressed with her tenacity. Like, she's like, I didn't expect that you would make it in time. I wasn't certain where I would be going after Dumadari when I sent you that note, however. And
it's a funny balance. Sorry, I was just going to say, it's a funny balance with Shallan, and I'm kind of jumping in, but it's a funny balance that she is tenacious. She is able. She has a lot of abilities. She's also desperate.
Yeah, that's
that
what
tenacity
it is. It's not
is
tenacious.
Desperation. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, she's desperate. She's not going to tell her she's desperate. We know she's desperate because we know why she's doing this and what her intention is, and the fact that she's driven to it.
Because once you get to know Shallan a little bit, you realize, like, if she wasn't trying to fucking rob this lady, she's probably never even attempting to meet her. Like, she was such, to the point where she, like, expected her life was going to be like some timid girl locked in a fucking room, that's just there to pump out babies for a dude.
Yeah, she was going to be promised to somebody, and that didn't seem to bother her so much.
No, just seemed like that was the life she thought was her life. So it doesn't sound like she'd be, like, traveling the fucking world looking to, link up with one of the most powerful people on the fucking planet. That does not seem like who she is, and, like, this is just pure desperation.
I think I like that a lot. I think it's pretty great. I think it's genius, a stroke of genius on Sanderson's part to build her that backstory, because she ends up enjoying the traveling and all that stuff, but she's reluctant of the whole thing. She happens to have the abilities, so she can flourish to a degree in the element, but she's doing it out of necessity rather than want, which is quite interesting. It's what we talked about a moment ago when we talked about how far I've gotten in the books and thinking about Dalinar and how complicated he is as a character because of all the things that he's dealing with in his mind. Very, very different with Shallan in that she's young, she's able to move into this world and take on the weight of her family and keeping the family going and having to do something that's completely underhanded and doing it to somebody that, like, frankly, I like Jasnah. I think she's a very interesting character, and the idea of her getting fucked over doesn't appeal to me, but it's extraordinarily interesting for this character to be brought in who has these abilities and is forced into this situation out of her own necessity and desperation. So you have that inner turmoil that she's dealing with, and trying to make her way here, while also not being. It's complex because she's being. I mean, like you said, Jasnah's kind of a bitch, right? She's kind of a dick, cutting her short on what her abilities are, and not even giving a shit about what she thinks she's good at. So she's being affronted, but then at the same time, she's being recognized to a degree. She's being humbled to a huge degree. It's all great. I mean, I think it's tremendous how the complications all play out between the two of them. It's cool.
I mean, you get it right in the beginning where she's like, I respect your tenacity. It's great. Most people give up very quick. And then she's like, you know what? Perhaps I will actually let you petition me for a place as my ward. Where it's like, if you were like chasing after some girl and you think you're going to go on a date with her and she's like, hey, meet me here. And then you go and she's not there. Left a note like, oh, I went somewhere else. Come fucking meet me here. And then you go meet her there and finally catch up to her like at the 4th place. And then she's like, I respect it. You kept coming. You kept looking for me. I will let you ask me out. Maybe. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, bitch, I'm going to fucking throw my drink in your face. What are you talking about? I might possibly be able to ask you out.
No, it's funny you put it that way because that's the type of situation where I'm like, all right, well, I'm done. This was it. This was all the effort I had. This was way beyond what I was originally willing to do. And now you're just flicking me off right in my face. So, nah, I'm not interested anymore.
Such a fucking like kick to the fucking balls when you're like, yeah. Hey, you know what? Good work. Maybe maybe
you're one step closer.
Kind of, maybe I might talk to you.
Well, and it's even like maybe you're one step closer to maybe having a chance. Like, fuck you, man. This isn't worth it. That's where it gets to the point where it's like, well, all right, then this isn't worth it to me.
How many hoops are you going to make me jump through fucking 10 hoops just to get to the starting line?
Well, and I'm glad I got as far as I did because when Dalinar is basically like, wow, he's surprised that Jasnah took on a ward.
Yeah.
Because he's like, she never has. She never had enough time or blah, blah, blah. So her, what do you call it? Her process of filtering out who's worthy is so fucking, it's such a high bar that no one's met it yet.
Yeah.
She pulls this shit with other people and they're like, okay, well, go fuck yourself. I'm done. And then they leave.
That's it. That's what a reasonable person would do. And should raise huge red flags when like this girl keeps fucking coming. You gotta be like, what is wrong with you? Like you are not tenacious. You are desperate.
Well, and that's what's so interesting about this is like, so I guess that feeds to Jasnah's ego. She's willing to jump through so many hoops, and then she's not noticing that the reason why she's doing it, she's gonna steal that shit.
Yeah, it's a huge demonstration of how big her ego is. That she just thinks like, that's how fucking badass I am. We got this girl fucking jumping through all kinds of hoops, and she's still all up on this. It's like, no, she's trying to fucking rob you. That's it. You have something she wants.
Again, though, I mean, Sanderson is able to weave some complexities in here because as we see that ego on Jasnah, there are points, and I can't think of them exact context, but there are points where she's become like a real person.
Yeah.
Like the girl that plays the dice game. But basically, like when she's like tired and like trying to like relax and then still having to handle shit. Like she's a busy chick, man. She has a lot going on, a lot that she's handling. And there's a lot that I read of her that I respect her. I don't dislike the character.
No, I don't either. I like Jasnah. I mean, I'm just purely looking at it from this meetup.
Yeah.
If I was in Shallan's shoes.
Yeah, and the circumstances. Yeah.
I would not be putting up with this. And if I was in Jasnah's shoes, I'd be like, what is wrong with you? Like, there's got to be something wrong with you. Why are you this fucking clingy? Is desperate to be my fucking, my student. I'm like, no, there's something wrong with you. You're going to way too far lengths.
Well, and that's a funny thing you brought up earlier. If you apply it to relationships, you don't want to be with somebody that wants you this much.
No, not at all.
I mean, again, it's that odd dichotomy of relationships. Is like you want the person that wants you but doesn't want you that much.
No, you want the person who doesn't realize they want you, and you got to kind of convince them that they do want you, and then they realize it.
Yeah, you have to be able to sell yourself to a degree.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have to sell yourself at all, then it's like, well, this wasn't a challenge, so this isn't worth it anyway.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
It's like, man, if I don't have to sell myself, you probably don't have much to offer.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just taking the you don't even know me. Like, I could be a complete dirtbag. I should have to sell myself. Like, you should have to know who I am before you're willing to fucking accept me.
You know what's really funny about that, though? When you're out there on the prowl, you want it to be as easy as possible.
Yeah.
At the same time. So the dichotomies are. It's interesting. It's really interesting. You know, being a human being, walking around in this meat suit.
Yeah. But yeah, and then so, Shallan, is like, I almost stumbled. She's like, Brightness, I thought that, well, your letter, Jasnah eyed her. I gave you leave to meet me, Miss Devar. I did not promise to take you on. The training and care of the ward is a distraction for which I have little tolerance or time at the present. But you have traveled far. I will entertain your request, though understand that my requirements are strict. Shallan covered a grimace. No tantrum? Jasnah noted. That is a good sign. Tantrum, Brightness, from a light-eyed woman? You'd be surprised, Jasnah said dryly. But attitude alone will not earn your place. Tell me, how extensive is your education? And she starts going down the list. She's like, we'll do an evaluation, answer truthfully, and do not exaggerate, as I will soon discover your lies. Feign no false modesty either. I haven't the patience for a simperer. It's like, well, you almost are setting yourself up where you're destined to get a simperer. Like, because anybody with a backbone would have fucking stopped chasing you. Yeah,
that's why I do see this as a good comparison to relationships.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the nuance, it's very difficult. Well, and actually, it's great. The way it plays out is great because Shallan is, she gives a good answer in that extensive in some areas, extensively lacking in others. And then she talks. I mean, her resume is quite impressive, I think, in its way. But then she fucking gets shit all over. Oh, but you don't know about this, this, and this. Oh, but I know about this and this.
The whole interview is so fucking weird. Like you got to be a fucking Renaissance man. Like, she starts off with, we shall begin with music. How would you judge your skill? And then she has her sing a fucking song for her. And then she's like, what about geometry? How good are you at geometry? Like, how are these things related?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? Like, I'm supposed to be proficient in everything?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. She's like, you don't want a student. You want a master of all these things.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, why am I here then? Plus, you're not going to find this person. You can find like 2 of these in like out of 5 towns. You can find 2 people. Like, what the hell are we talking about?
It's such a weird... the different subjects are not similar, and to be proficient in all of those subjects at a young age would be near impossible, because like there's just not enough time to be that devoted to each specific subject to be an expert in each one of them, unless you're just like fucking super genius.
Well, and I really like the way it plays out in terms of the realism, in the sense that she doesn't get to go into depth on what she's best at.
Yeah.
So then she's like forces it in, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that."
Yeah.
Oh, the thing you're best at? Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care about that.
It's like bringing in Michael Jordan, and you're testing him in like soccer and fucking crochet and fucking. Bag toss, and then he was like, "No, let's start shooting hoops. Let me show you what I got on the court." And it's like, "Oh, I don't like basketball. Not interested."
Yeah. I was gonna give a very similar example. Like, someone who is the best at what they do. Like, and it sounds like, again, I'm really glad I got to where I got to, because it seems like she's extraordinary illustration, however. So,
Jimi Hendrix, let me see how you are on those cowbells.
By the way, I was trying to be patient for a while, but I'm going to go ahead and go at it now. It's absurd to me. It's absurd to me that Jasnah would be like, yeah, I don't care about that. She's a historian.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me that like art doesn't matter? Like sketching doesn't matter to a historian? That's fucking up. That doesn't make any sense because that's part of how you tell history. That's a big part of how you tell history. That's fucking absurd to me. That doesn't make sense.
Although I like history, don't and coincide. Art does nothing for me whatsoever.
But every now and then,
but like for like the image to know what something looks like,
exactly.
That might be useful. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. That in itself, just the
But she's probably thinking, rendering. I think Jasnah is thinking like, it's only useful like, there's a million people that can draw a fucking picture. She's not thinking like Shallan, who's like, fucking the artist, like the fucking master class artist. Like she's not thinking of her in that respect. She's just probably thinking, like, there's a million people who could just fucking draw something for me.
Yeah, anyone can do a stick figure.
Yeah.
The idea is capturing the moment in time.
Yeah.
It is important. The idea that it's not important is absurd because as eventually we got to is it's capturing that moment in time. The images matter to be able to see it, the perspective from a time. It fucking matters. There's so much that we can go back and read now that there aren't images.
Yeah.
From back then, we can extrapolate and consider and think about it.
Although, like when I look at paintings of people from back in the day, either everybody was really fucking ugly, or they were not great at drawing realistic, accurate portrayals of people. Because otherwise, everybody they were drawing was super fucking uggo.
No, the wealthy were uggo.
Yeah, which seems weird that the people who are able to, like, because you're talking about like 99% of the people were working every day to feed themselves, so they're probably not, in the best health. They're probably not really taking care of their bodies real well.
I think also the tastes were different. Like Mona Lisa was so hot back then, and nowadays, she doesn't really.
One of the things too is like a lot of those, those kings and stuff back in the day, they were all trying to do that keep it in the family shit, and so it's not that surprising that they're looking a little fucking wonky. They're looking like the fucking McBoyles. Fucking It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Drink that warm milk in their robes.
Fucking yeah. So like I see like paintings of like King Henry the VIII or whatever it was, and I'm like, dude, how is this dude rolling fucking bitches? He's ugly as sin.
Well, they're also
even like they're like, oh, Anne Boleyn, man, she's a fucking dime, and no, she's not. Like, if I saw her, I would not ask her out.
There is also there seemed to be a lot of hedonism for those that were also getting their portraits taken or put down. So maybe that played into it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's it's an interesting point. I hadn't really considered as much. Because people look they look the same. They're in the sense that there has always been attractive people. I refuse to believe that if you go back 300 years, there aren't attractive people.
Apparently not.
Absurd to consider.
Show me one painting of an attractive person.
Okay, but that's
from
different.
500 years ago.
The portrayals, the pictorial portrayals could be...
Dude, what? None, like, Da Vinci wasn't like, hey, that girl right there is a fucking dime piece, and I'm Da Vinci, and I'm going to get her to pose for me.
Well, think about this. We also didn't have the filters that you have with Instagram, right?
Yeah, yeah. They don't have the
absurd
fucking girls with the giant butt implants fucking on Instagram.
They did also have, all the painstaking hours to make the painting look exactly how they want it to look.
Yeah.
But there's examples. There has to be. I just can't think of them. There has to be examples of attractive women portrayed, and men, granted, portrayed from all these centuries ago.
The Greek, the Greek sculptures Like they had some, I mean, but you're not getting like a clear face, but their bodies were fucking, were ridiculous, man. They were fucking jacked, fucking cut all the fuck up.
So let me ask you, so the Greek sculptures and whatnot, was the whole reasoning was to make the penises really small to make everybody else feel better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they were so fucking jacked. They're like, dude, I got to do something, man. I got nothing.
There's a really funny sketch show. It's very hit or miss. And I can't think of the name of it now, but they have a sketch where the advertisement for this horse farm is horses with penises smaller than yours. That's the whole like, it's like the beginning of the ad, they go ride a horse.
Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah, it's fucking great.
It's so funny.
It's like, because they were getting all fucking bummed out being around horses.
Oh, so is that what they mean? Yeah, I love it because she's like, is that what they mean by hung like a horse? And he's like, yeah. I'm not having fun. I want to leave now.
They're getting fucking jealous of the horses. It's fucking great.
But if you go to the right horse farm, where they have the little penises,
I'm bigger than that.
He's like, I'm bigger than that. I feel good about this. I guess that's what it means to be hung like a horse. Oh
yeah, it's a fucking great skit.
Guess I'm swinging heavy over here. Okay.
Oh man.
I love that we went there, huh?
Yeah. I don't know how we got there, but we did. But yeah. So and then she asked her about writing. I also like this. She's like, I know all the major, minor, and topical glyphs and can paint them calligraphically. So can most children. The glyph words that I paint are regarded by those who know me as quite impressive. Glyph words? Jasnah said, I had reason to believe you wanted to be a scholar, not a purveyor of superstitious nonsense. I've kept a journal since I was a child, Shallan continued, in order to practice my writing skills. Congratulations, Jasnah said. Should I need someone to write a treatise on their stuffed pony or give an account of an interesting pebble they discovered, I shall send for you. Is there nothing you can offer that shows you have true skill? Like, at that point, it's like, oh man, we're fucking throwing down. Like, you just can't talk to me like this. And then, but when she throws back, with all due respect, Brightness, you have a letter from me yourself, and it was persuasive enough to make you grant me this audience. A valid point, Jasnah said, nodding. It took you long enough to make it. Fucking. Yeah. Oh man, no, I'm really fucking fuming.
That point, so earlier when she said, oh, I appreciate your tenacity. Now she's like, yeah you slow ass bitch.
Yeah.
Like it went from, hey, I appreciate your tenacity and keeping up with me to you're one slow, stupid son of a bitch. Is what that became.
If you were smart, you would have made it at the beginning.
Fuck you, bro.
You dumb ass. Yeah. But yeah, and then she asked her, how is your training in logic and its related arts? Shallan says, I've read through the complete works of Tormus, Nishan, Niall the Just, and of course, Noadan. Tormus, Nishan, Niall the Just. I don't think they're mentioned again. At least I haven't seen their name mentioned again. Couldn't find anything about him. Noadan is the guy that wrote The Way of Kings, the book that Dalinar is having read to him.
Yeah.
And
Dalinar, and then
Noadan is the author of it.
And what you said, it was his brother who was king prior.
Correct. Yeah, Gavilar was reading it, too.
And everybody says like that was like the sign he was losing his mind because he kept quoting The Way of Kings, which is, again, that's a really interesting dynamic in the sense that it seems like Jasnah's mother seems to respect what's happening to Dalinar and the fact that he is more world-wise now. He's still like, has this intensity to him, but she respects the fact that he seems to be taking on this mantle of being a better, more well-rounded person. And that seems like what The Way of Kings bestows. But for whatever reason, with Dalinar, people did not respect that. And apparently it made him seem like he was going crazy or something. And I get the impression that...
It's so ridiculous, too, because it's like, oh, what are these fucking dudes doing? Reading and learning stuff? Like fucking nerds.
It seems there's that. It seems like there's that, but there's also this like. I mean, maybe it is basically like, that. But
dude, this guy started reading books, and he's like, dude, I'm done with the murdering and the raping and the pillaging. Like, what is wrong with him? What a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, it seems like. There seems to be a resistance to betterment of self, and Galinar ran into it. Now Dalinar's running into it. Yeah, it is. It's very strange that goes against the grain.
Yeah,
rather than be lauded. I mean, it's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, they are all about the fucking massacre and fucking societies. They are not big on fucking settling down. Having a nice, family, clearly, being a good dad, making some good meals for your family.
Well, they even look at theology as like, oh, that's women's arts. Like, what?
Well, theology is something they take more seriously, except for the studying it. Like they just are like, I'm very religious, but I'm not gonna fucking study it.
Okay, so it's all life experience. You're not allowed to learn from prior.
You're allowed to. It's just if you start having a woman read to you, you're
that's the stupidest.
You're kind of a sissy.
That's really ridiculous. I mean, obviously, that's an absurd trait in this world to carry that sort of baggage and that weight. Of that's so ridiculous. I mean, if you're having it delivered to you, then it's being filtered through
that's probably
channel.
What happened with those Greek sculptures. It's like those guys were like jacked and fucking great athletes, like fucking Dalinar, these big mountain men. But then like someone saw them like reading a book, and they're like, "Okay, little wiener dude."
Okay.
So
I think you're going there.
If Dalinar, in this society, Dalinar reading a book, they're just like, oh, they're like all talking behind his back, and they're like, little pinky fucking Dalinar, gotta go fucking read his books.
It's very strange, because already the best thing about being able to read someone's writing, Socrates, Aristotle, I don't care who they are. There's no filter, or there's very little filter between you and their thoughts. It's what they're able to put on the page. And if they're able to put it in the way that they most intended, and it gets edited and all that shit, but as long as they can get it down in the way that they intended, then you're able to access their thoughts. That's tremendous. If you're not even willing to read the words, but you're having it given to you through somebody else, then it's being filtered through somebody else.
Yeah.
So that doesn't necessarily mean it's watered down. I mean, if they're giving it to you exactly how it's written, but even still, it's not. I don't know. Obviously, I don't have to fucking sell you on that, but it's just the absurdity of it. Yeah, the absurdity, to be that's their macho-ness.
Yeah,
is like I don't learn. Fuck that noise. Like I learned by bashing people's heads in.
Yeah,
you're a fucking disgusting savage, man.
Yeah,
you're no better than the fucking slave master. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's a ridiculous culture, but that's their thing. And the books that when Jasnah asked her, like, well, okay, have you read Placini, Gabarathin, Ustara, whatever these people's names are? She's not read any of these people that she mentions, and one of them she's like that last name was obviously Shin. Did the Shin people even have logic masters? Did Jasnah really expect her wards to have studied such obscure text? So like that's like just pointing out that she's so like in depth in her studies and everything that she's asking about like the super fucking obscure frickin' the people that like it'd be like if I just started fucking name dropping economists and shit that like unless you're like knee deep in the shit, there's no reason you would know who this person is.
That is a dick move on your part.
Yeah.
And that's what she's doing.
Yeah, to judge if you have like a solid base and you're going to the most obscure people possible. It's like, get the fuck out of here. That's asking too much. You're asking me, am I an expert in everything? No, I'm asking to be your student. If I was an expert, I wouldn't fucking be coming to you. I wouldn't need you.
Yeah, that's a good point. That kind of reminds me of like, just in the sense of, it happens with authors, it happens with music, where somebody, you like ask somebody, oh, what kind of music? Do you, I like rap music. Do you like rap music? Yeah, a little bit. What about MF Doom?
Yeah.
Like, who? But you don't fucking know rap music then. I just admitted I don't really know Matt, right? You know, to take it to that level is kind of absurd.
What's your favorite Dead Prez song? Like, if they get it and they know it, like, then you're like, that's pretty fucking good. Yeah,
I think I know that one. Okay, well, what else? What's their favorite from their third album? It's absurd.
His song about animals and a farm and eating,
great song.
Eating food and stuff.
Great song. But yeah, I mean, it's literally just being like pretentious. And she is doing that. She's making it. Who am I thinking of here? This kind of reminds me of, it kind of reminds me of a Loden with Quoth, but it kind of reminds me of anybody who the student is looking for a teacher and the teacher's like, yeah, I don't want to teach you. So
yeah.
Let me set the bar so fucking high that you're just going to get annoyed and walk away, and it seems like that's what she's doing, to a degree though, because then she is still kind of entertaining it.
I like, too, like, the history is the one that really galls her. Like, like, she's got the high expectation, but then she asks her about the history books and she doesn't know any of those people. And she's like, this is an embarrassing hole. History is the most important of the literary subarts. One would think that your parents would have taken specific care in this area if they'd hoped to submit you to study under a historian like myself. Fucking arrogant bastard. My circumstances are unusual brightness. Ignorance is hardly unusual, Miss DeVar. The longer I live, the more I come to realize that is the natural state of the human mind. There are many who will strive to defend its sanctity and then expect you to be impressed with their efforts. That is very accurate. That is one of those things where I'm like, yeah, 100%. 100%.
So far, there's been a few quotes that I've come across thus far that I really like a lot. That one is a big one. I like that a lot. That applies to our world in a huge way.
Yeah,
huge way. And
there's a lot of ignorance, but very opinioned. People have been taught that
passionate about
that to be like a good person is to have an opinion on everything. Like, you're supposed to be like an informed citizen, and so you should have an opinion on everything. It's like, no, it's fucking ridiculous.
That's
like, it's impractical. Like, there's not enough time in the day to be, intelligent about numerous subjects.
This is one of those points. I got this. And this is going way back, but I don't give a shit. I was very reluctant to read fantasy to begin with. Game of Thrones was probably the first outside of like The Last Unicorn. And one of the things that sold me with Martin was he's a fucking great writer.
Yeah.
And you read like the Tyrion chapters, you're like, oh, there's like real wisdom in his writing, and he's an artist about it. Got that with Rothfuss too. And this is one of those points where I'm like, okay, like this is the type of thing that sells me on the author, where I'm like, all right, I'm in for the ride when you can pepper in things like this that are timeless quotes that apply to humanity and human experience, It's fucking great.
Yeah, I mean it's 100% accurate quote. I mean the flip side of it is there's a lot of people who are semi-informed about a topic and then look for every opportunity to shove their limited knowledge in your fucking face and think you're supposed to be impressed by it. Like, you see, like, the biggest example I could think of is, like, fucking, grammar Nazis. And they're, like, constantly correct your spelling or your grammar. And you're like, well, I'm very happy that you saw that hole and you showed me that you mastered third grade fucking grammar. Super impressed by that.
I'm going to defend those people to a degree because
because you're very impressed that you've mastered third grade grammar.
That's not
very
the reason.
impressed by it.
That's not the reason for me. The reason for me is my mind is so fastidious at all times that I cannot help but straighten a page. I can't help but straighten the things in front of me. I can't have a picture on the wall that's not straight. When I hear something and I feel comfortable with that person, I will try to find a way to point it out that, well, that's not the right way to whatever. I've gotten a lot better than I was in my youth, but it's just one of those things, man. I'm not trying to be fucking,
those are my favorite though. Like when someone like corrects me on something like that, like you have a typo or something, and they're like, there's a typo there. Like, oh, super impressed. You just blew my mind.
But what I'm trying to say is, my intention is not check out the big brain on Brad over here. My intention is I can't fucking help it.
It's like, what do you want me to do? You want me to go in and edit my text? It's a fucking text message. I can't fucking edit it. Who gives a shit? Did you understand what I wrote? Could you read it?
I hear you. I hear you. For me, though, what I'm saying is, though, for me, that's the way my mind works. I edit people's conversations constantly. I do it in my mind all the time. I don't necessarily always say something.
Tim is always like, you'll be talking to him, and you'll be like, our friends are over there. It's like, you're thinking the wrong there. Like it's THERE, not THEIRE.
No, EIRE. Get the fuck out. No, first of all, no, that's not a good example. But there's plenty of examples where in my mind I am editing speech. I will only say it in certain circumstances. But I will say this: when I send a text and there's a typo, it bothers the fucking shit out of me. Bothers the shit out of me. Because I can't go back and edit it. So,
yeah, I mean, there are things
it's not check out the big brain on Brad. It's my mind is just fastidious. I want the structure to be lined up the way that I intend for it.
I get it. You don't have much to be proud of, and you're very, very, very proud that you've mastered third grade grammar.
No, but to your point, though, it's very interesting that a lot of people, you'll be talking about one subject, and that thing that they know a little bit about, they will fucking shoehorn the fuck out of whatever the conversation is about to then make it about that thing that they know more about. So then turn the conversation to this. So now they get to be the ruler of the conversation because this is their expertise rather than what was actually being.
There's a episode of Friends where Joey gets like one of the encyclopedias. He gets one of the letters, and so like anytime he's just trying to bring up like Mount Vesuvius or something like that, and then but like he's only got one of the letters. So like he keeps trying to shoehorn in different subjects from that one letter. And then he brings up one, they start talking about it, and he's like, got all this information. And he says one thing, and then they immediately change the subject, and he's back to being completely lost and has no idea what they're talking about.
That's actually a pretty funny premise.
Yeah. It was pretty good. Bought it from Gillette, Penn and Teller. Penn. He bought the encyclopedia from Penn in that episode.
If it wasn't for the laugh track, that show would be a lot. I could probably watch it. But my wife watches it, and I hear the laugh track, and it's like, what the? It's like going back in time. It's like, I forgot this. Awful. This existed. So I'm always like, why didn't you laugh there? You're supposed to laugh there. You're not playing by the rules here. Yeah,
but. So Shallan doesn't impress her. I mean, and then when she finally snaps back, she's like, have I not a right to make reasonable demands of my potential students, Miss DeVar? Reasonable? Your demands are about as reasonable as the ones made of the 10 heralds on Proving Day. With all due respect, Brightness, you seem to want a potential warriors to be master scholars already. May be able to find a pair of 80-year-old ardents in the city who might fit your requirements. They could interview for the position, though they may have trouble hearing well enough to answer your questions. I see, Jasnah replied. And do you speak with such pique to your parents as well? I'm curious what the made of the 10 heralds on Proving Day.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
I don't know what
like
it is.
This was.
I'm assuming like the heralds like had to do some kind of a test to prove that they were worthy to become a herald. Is the only thing I can think of.
I mean, yeah, in terms of the context, it seems like this would be a very difficult decision, or a very difficult. I mean, and she's trying to emphasize, so she's trying,
especially
to show,
like you think about what the heralds had to do, like they had to sacrifice themselves and just be repeatedly tortured for millennia, and you know, if they gave, then a desolation would start. So, man, like I would, if there's like you gotta prove yourself worthy of that, I'm failing that test on purpose.
Well, so 9 of them sacrificed one guy, right?
Yeah,
is that what ended up happening?
Yeah. Well, see, it seems like only Tall or whatever his name is, Talon. It seems like he was the only one who they should have had a better test because they only got 1 of the 10 right. The other 9 were fucking bitches and they gave up. They cheated on Proving Day. They did not prove themselves.
It seems like they held out for quite a long while.
Not long enough.
I guess not. Not to your standards.
No, I mean, because once you give up, a war starts and I might die. So yes, to my standards, you did not hold out long enough. Hold the line. Let me can I live?
Can I live?
But yeah, so she is she's not impressed with Jasnah, and her excuses fall on deaf ears, and so it's not going anywhere. And then they get to where they're going, like the whole time they've been talking and walking, and they get to a place where there's a large chunk of rock that had fallen from the ceiling, and it had blocked off his granddaughter, got locked in whatever room she is in. And so they're worried that because the ceiling's obviously unstable, they're worried that she might get killed if another high storm rolls in and she hasn't been taken out. So they're asking Jasnah to use her soulcaster to disappear the stone. And it's pretty ridiculous, what she's able to do with this thing.
Yeah, it's dope. It's pretty great. Yeah, this thing is, I mean, they talk about it, maybe it's in the next chapter, but we hear about everything that soulcasters can be used for, and it's fucking absurd. I mean, it provides all kinds of different things. But yeah, not to go there now, but well I guess we could. Also, actually, they do talk about it in a couple pages.
Well, one of the things that when he's talking about like if only had a shard blade, but also the fact that Jasnah is willing to do all this shit for him, and all she's asking for in return is access to their library. Huh. So it demonstrates how, she's obviously hammering on Shallan about do you know this? Do you know this? Do you know this? And then when she's got a prime position where she's got the king up against a wall, save my granddaughter. What do you need? She's like, I just need to get into your library so I can look at your books. That tells you something about her. Obviously, it's not just she just likes to learn. She obviously does. She's obviously, that's, her thing is learning things. Information is paramount, but she's too motivated for it. There's obviously a motivation. She's trying to find some information.
Yeah, that's interesting. I must have missed that, but that definitely says a lot for sure. About her background, her situation.
Yeah, because access to the Palanaeum or whatever it's called is worth the cost of the library. But yeah, and so then we have Jasnah coming in, she goes up to it and she asks Shallan, what method would you use to ascertain the mass of the stone? Still testing her. And then she's like, well, I suppose I'd ask His Majesty. His architects probably calculated. Jasnah cocked her head. An elegant response. And she's like, a point in your favor, Miss Devar. A scholar knows not to waste time rediscovering information already known. It's a lesson I sometimes forget. And still does not fucking take her on. She's just fucking, at that point it's kind of insulting. It's like you're still testing me even though you've already made up your mind.
Yeah, well, that was one of those things where it's like, yeah, it seems like she's made up her mind, but then something like this, at least for me when I read it, it was like, oh, well, maybe she might reconsider. Maybe she's still in the considering phase. Because it's hard to say if she's just testing her all along with all of this,
Yeah. And then, so when she makes it disappear, it's like the gemstones set into Jasnah's soulcaster were enormous, some of the largest that Shallan had ever seen, worth many spheres each. One was smoke stone, a pure glassy black gemstone. The second was a diamond. The third was a ruby. All three were cut. A cut stone could hold more Stormlight into glistening, many-faceted oval shapes. The stones on the back of her hand began to glow more fiercely, the smoke stone in particular growing so bright it was difficult to look at. Shallan held her breath. The only thing she dared do was blink, committing the scene to memory. For a long, extended moment, nothing happened, and then briefly Shallan heard a sound, a low thrumming, like a distant group of voices, humming together a single pure note. Jasnah's hands sank into the rock. The stone vanished. A burst of dense black smoke exploded into the hallway, enough to blind Shallan. It seemed the output of 1,000 fires and smelled of burned wood. That's pretty fucked up. Like, she takes a massive boulder and just turns it into smoke. Like, when you hear that, like, because you obviously you get, like, what's-his-face's truthless boy, Szeth. You get Szeth's magic where he's, like, changing gravity and doing all those kind of things, but then she just steps in and she fucking turns a stone into smoke. Then you're like, whoa, okay, the magic of this world is going to be fucking messed up.
Yeah, because largely what he's doing is it's all motion. It's moving things around.
Yeah.
It's moving objects, cutting objects, and then moving them, but it's not destroying.
No, it's like changing gravity and shit like that, or pulling things to things, or making things stick. It's all seems to be centered around gravity. Whereas like hers is just like, what the fuck is that? If you can you just change something into anything else. Like that's crazy.
The soulcaster thing's crazy because it even goes as far as saying you can make shelter out of it. Like, what does that look like?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like, and you can make food. Like, it's fucking nuts, man. Like,
turn piles of fucking shit into a house or something. Like, I mean, you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, it doesn't seem like the limitations just seem to be like your how powerful your soulcaster is, what kind of gemstones you have, what kind of, how talented you are, those kind of things. Yeah. But like it seems like if you were capable enough, you could pretty much change anything into anything at that point.
No wonder she wants to steal it.
Yeah, it would be extremely valuable if you can, soulcast, gemstones and things like that, and soulcast money. You could be the fucking Fed and be printing money.
Yeah. I love the actual details. The whole event is pretty great. Where they have Shallan, even her ears felt stopped up as if she'd climbed down from a great height. She had to swallow to pop them. It really puts you in the situation. And her ears fill with a rushing sound, like all of that. Like, and she's surrounded by this smoke. It's getting in people's eyes, and this is why they had those wet rags and everything. Mm-hmm. It's pretty great. I mean, the whole way it plays out, and it's and those details to me are very important, because if you just have this thing happen and you're just like, what the fuck? I mean, you are like that regardless because of what happens, but with all those details, it really makes it very real, which is necessary because it is so unreal.
There's also too what gets interesting is there's a line where it's like Jasnah opened her eyes, blinking as if momentarily confused by her location. That, when people are going back through on their second read through, that's obviously that stands out. But you haven't got far enough where you would understand why she's that feeling, or why there's a look of momentarily confused, and so. That's something to keep in the back of your mind, because that that stuff comes back up, like where you wouldn't understand that unless you get further in the books. But when you go back through, you understand why that is mentioned.
Right on.
But so that's something that's that pays off for the rereading that little line. But it's not like significant to the story. It's something you learn about later on. So it's not information that you need to know at this point. You will learn, but the only way you would know why that is mentioned like that is with that knowledge that you get later. But yeah.
By the way, as much as Jasnah is being kind of a dick, this is kind of a cool dick move that she does something like this that's so incredible, and Shallan gets to see it. She's trying to be her student. Obviously, you see something like this, and you're like, "Damn, I gotta learn from this chick." And then she's like, "So you're probably waiting for a response," and it's no.
Yeah.
So once she shows her, like, it'd be like under the tutelage of, think of anybody. We talked about Jordan earlier, and you're like, he brings you onto the team, and you're like, "Hey, can I, learn under you?" And then like you play one-on-one. He's like, "Yeah, no, not impressed. You're gonna go to the D squad or whatever."
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, not even that. It's like, no, I don't want to play basketball with you. Like, go home.
Yeah, you don't get to play this sport.
Yeah. Go home. Go try bowling. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So yeah, she tosses her out, and then she's like, she mentions like, what, but wait, but you haven't seen my art, and but they are of the arts, Shallan said, feeling desperate. This was where she was most accomplished. Many consider the visual arts the most refined of them all. I brought my portfolio. I would show you what I can do. Jasnah pursed her lips. The visual arts are frivolity. I have weighed the facts, child. I cannot accept you. I'm sorry. Shallan Heartstank. Your Majesty, Jasnah said Your Majesty, Jasnah said to the king, I would like to go to the Palanaeum. Now, the king said, blah, blah, blah. So, she's immediately going to the fucking library. She's like, all right, let's fucking get this on. She's on a mission, clearly. But Shallan, I like the fact that she mentions, like, to some people, it's the most refined of them all. But Jasnah is just not into art. She's, and I can kind of feel her because, like, I've been to museums where everybody's like walking around looking at paintings and everything. And I'm like, I'm not getting what everybody else is getting out of this. I'm bored and I want to leave. I don't like looking at paintings. Again,
to me, it's quite vexing for the character in the sense that she's a historian, and the idea that she has no appreciation is absurd. I mean, it's maybe absurd is too strong a word, but it doesn't correlate with her background. The idea that you're a historian, well, this is a giant part of history. So turning your back on it simply because it's visual arts, that's absurd. But I do like that she pursed her lips before she said it. So she did do ass cat face.
Yeah, she did an old anus mouth. Old anus mouth Jasnah. I hate how they spell it, because I'm always going to be tempted to say Jasnah instead of Jasnah.
I've said both. The funny thing is, if I wasn't looking at it, I would just keep saying Jasnah, but I'm looking at the book, so I keep saying Jasnah.
Yeah.
I'll just call her Jason.
Just start calling these authors, Jason. Man. They don't know how to spell or pronounce the fucking words they write. It's annoying.
They love to make it something a little bit different, man. A little off the norm,
But yeah, so and then when Jasnah, J Nasty, fucking walks off, Shallan, fucking stiffens up that upper lip, and she's like, she was not going to give up until Jasnah was forced to truss her up in chains and have the authorities drag her away. Although she does not fucking, that is not how it goes down. But she does not have to be dragged away in chains. She's just got to be told no a second time. She fucking walks off, fucking defeated. But her steps surprisingly firm. She walked in the direction Jasnah had gone. 6 months ago, she had explained a desperate plan to her brother. She would apprentice herself to Jasnah Kholin, scholar, heretic. Not for the education, not for the prestige, but in order to learn where she kept her soulcaster. And then Shallan would steal it. That's a game changer as far as like when you're reading that the first time, because you're not getting that is what's going on the first time you're going through this. Not through the whole first 2 chapters with Shallan. You're not thinking like she's just there to do some gangster shit and just rob this fucking extremely powerful woman, one of the most powerful women in the world, and rob her of an extremely powerful tool.
No, yeah, the whole impression you're getting is that she is there to help her family by becoming her ward. That's it. Like her student. That's the impression you're getting. And then when it ends with that, you're like, oh, so we're super fucking desperate. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it was that hardcore.
Well, and that makes her fucking desperation make more sense, where it's like, really? Like, I mean, how much value can you get off of being her student? And
well, and that's what builds so much prestige into Jasnah.
Yeah.
Because you're like, why this much? Why is she this much? And then it's also kind of like, so this is all she has? Because she seems capable.
Yeah.
Of, being able to offer value, but is this it? It's interesting too because of where it's placed. It's like we're still getting to know this world, so it's like how important is this really? And then when it becomes that, you're like, oh, okay, so this world is a lot more, I guess, realistic in many ways.
Yeah, and that's kind of it's a dangerous game because Jasnah, like you see. When you first meet Jasnah, she immediately is aware of her surroundings. She immediately sees Shallan walk up. She immediately notices her, doing a proper bow to the king and that kind of shit. She's very cognizant of her surroundings. Even when she's in the middle of a conversation with the king, she knows what's going on all around her. So it's like, that's the person you got to rob, and she wears this fucking shit.
Yeah, that's going to be a tall task.
It doesn't seem like something really she would just be even laying around. It seems like something that, the devotees would love to see someone fucking jack that shit from her.
Yeah, it seems like the type of thing you're keeping that more coveted than anything else. I mean, you're keeping it closer to the vest than anything else. That's why it kind of does. It's a little bit surprising that you wear it where people can see it, and maybe you have to, I don't know, but
but I mean, if you could turn stone into rock, covered. I mean, it's not like, if someone comes up and grabs you, you just turn them to fucking smoke. What are they gonna fucking do?
Yeah.
So it's like more dangerous than a fucking, carrying around one of those swords.
Yeah, I guess trying to pull a gun out of somebody's hand, they can shoot you. This is way more lethal than that.
Yeah. So it's, as long as you have it and can use it, then it seems like you're be someone not to fuck with. But if you set it down, that'd be different. And it seems like it'd be worth fucking doing whatever you got to do to get this thing, because look what it can do. You could turn a pile of shit into a pile of fucking diamonds. So this would be an extremely fucking valuable soulcaster. And because it's like, she's like, most soulcasters can do one or two things. This one seemed to, be limitless, is the way she describes it. So if you think about it, if people are looking at Jasnah as a heretic, it seems like she would be in a position where she would want to keep that shit under wraps. And so it'd be extremely difficult to steal, but that's Shallan's plan. she's going Ocean's 11 and trying to fucking figure out a way to steal this shit from a very cognizant fucking person who would understand what she's holding.
I think the rational plan is to turn her into a germaphobe. And she's all about washing her hands. She's going to have to take that thing off. She really wants to get thoroughly clean, you know? And she just snatched that shit up. And
it's kind of like, you know, if you wear like a gold too long, you get like green around your fingers or something like that, I think.
Not with actual real gold.
No, I think that's how it works.
Well, I mean, that works with some fake-ass, weird, cheap jewelry, perhaps. But not with real gold.
No, real gold fucking turns your hands purple. Your finger falls off.
First it was green, then now it's purple, and your finger falls off. Wow, so you have like leprosy of the finger?
Yeah, that's
like
what gold does.
You're getting leprosy from gold.
It's
That's
like
what gold does. Wow, okay.
Put it on your finger, it gets real tight. Your finger loses all circulation and falls off.
That sounds like a ring that's way too tight and tightening.
How would you get it on
there? On there.
Got it on there, so.
But you just, the way you described it, it literally cut your finger off.
Yeah, it gets tighter, shrinks when it gets wet.
Okay, so that's a special type of ring, it sounds like.
It's gold. That's what gold does.
That is not what it does.
That's why people fucking get gold rings when they get married, is to show how dedicated they are, that they're willing to wear something that if it gets wet, turns their finger purple and their finger falls off. It gets so tight. That's how dedicated they are. That's why people wear that shit. You don't know anything about anything. You got a lot of fucking, you're like fucking Shallan. You have a lot of holes in your education.
I am married and I'm wearing gold ring, so I'm aware that it can get wet. I get it wet all the time.
Now you got fake
doesn't
gold.
Turn purple. Well, a lot of holes in your theories there, Dan.
Nope, it's ironclad gold.
That's very easy. Wait, hold on. Your gold is ironclad.
My theory is ironclad gold.
Goodness.
But yeah, so next week,
we
have Bridge 4.
Bridge 4.
Which will be a fun one. A lot of
real.
fun. It's like it's like Kaladin goes to Disneyland is how I describe that chapter.
Yeah, it's a fun ride.
A lot of fun. Like it's, you know, getting in there, meeting everybody, meeting Mickey and, you know, Donald and everybody, and then going on the fucking fantastic rides. It's like going to Disneyland.
Was definitely, I mean, all of the chapters made an impression, but this one makes a big impression.
Yeah. Yeah, this was like the Bridge 4 was the first chapter. Like I liked the whole opening, but like Bridge 4 was the chapter where it was like, okay, I really like this fucking book.
The Zeth chapter kind of got me in the sense of like, whoa, okay, that's what this world is like. But this, this kind of gets you in like, there's some depth to this story. Yeah, it definitely, it got me pretty sold.
I like those like Spartacus type stories, and so that's what it was giving me, those kind of vibes of, you know, like Kaladin as Spartacus type of fucking dude is what it starts to build him up as. Like
Kirk Douglas. It just looks like Kirk Douglas.
Yeah.
Got it.
But Kirk Douglas and the other Douglas on top of his shoulders, because Kaladin's
Michael Douglas.
Yeah, Michael and Kurt on top of each other's shoulders because Kaladin's like 6'6".
And Emilio Estevez on his shoulders. And then Charlie Sheen on his back. And then Martin Sheen.
Yeah, Kaladin's really weird looking. Really, really weird looking.
Super tall, though.
Yeah.
Super tall. But, you know, like they're all crouched down on his back, so they're just barely a little bit taller.
They're all,
you have to combine them.
They're like actors, they're all like 3 foot tall. I mean,
yeah. But if you combine Emilio Estevez, Charlie Sheen, Martin Sheen, Kirk Douglas, Michael Douglas, you get some height eventually.
Yeah, you get like a normal sized person. They're all standing on each other's shoulders.
That's 6'2", you know? I love the idea that like, you see one actor and you're like, wow, he's shorter than I thought. But then you go to Hollywood and like everyone's 2 foot tall.
Yeah.
It's like all Tom Thumb shit. Like they're all just like it's a lot. There's a lot more budget than you think for set design and all the little miniatures.
Every actor you meet, even if they're short as shit, be like, man, you're way taller than I would have expected. Like, I'm like 5'6". Like I was thinking you were like 2'3".
I don't know how I would feel. Like if it'd be such a weird thing to hear from somebody. Like, wait, what?
Like I see you like on my TV, I tower over you.
Oh Jesus, that is a weird thing. Yeah, that would just be like, all right, this person you need to get him away from me. Get this person away from me. They're an insane person.
It'd be a nice experiment. Like if someone only experienced other people through TV, so they just TV. They never meet another person in real life. They only see other people on TV, so they just think everybody is like super fucking short. Like just everybody else is miniature. Like, man, that person's like as tall as my hand.
That was Mike TV on So all right, so on Willy Wonka. So in that perspective, you would think you're giant. You're like, yeah, I'm massive.
Yeah, I'm so fucking big.
And then you go out in the world and you're just like, oh wow.
Yeah, there's giants everywhere.
What's happening here? Did everybody get blown up? Or perhaps you would think, oh, there's a box in a room somewhere where I looked at images and they're portraying, pieces of this world.
I don't know. That'd be we should do that to a little baby just to test it out. Is isolate that baby from all human existence and then show other people on TV just to see if the baby will be able to tell that they're normal sized humans, but the TV makes them look smaller, or if they will think that that's how big they are.
I mean, if you really want to get just more weird with this, all of the images are all widescreen. Nothing close up, all widescreen. It's all, Reservoir Dogs, guys walking down the street. Yeah. It's all widescreen pacing. Like everybody's miniature as hell, and it's just, landscape shots.
Yeah, I would like to see how little baby mind would handle that.
Jesus.
And then, if a baby would freak the fuck out if someone bigger came walking into the room.
I think the damage done is not worth the whatever you're gonna find out from
just
this.
One baby. We can afford one baby.
We
got there's 8 billion babies, man. There's 8
it's
billion
all of us.
People. There's 8 billion people that fucking came up. We can experiment with one. It's a worthwhile experiment. That's a fun one.
Oh my God. You are a strange person.
Well, shove that down your fucking face.
Okay.
But, yeah. So, we'll leave it on that fucking weird-ass note. And you guys can come back for some more jackassery in 2 weeks.
We'll develop this idea. We'll really make it into something that will be supported by universities everywhere. Eventually for a real campaign, and we'll get money behind it. We'll start a
I'll start a GoFundMe. I'll start a GoFundMe.
Whatever.
We'll buy a little baby that nobody likes, and we'll do some experiments. We'll see how weird we can get with it.
Man, I was trying to take it to another notch, and you just fucking went back to the strange, demented element. Yeah. I was trying to go away from that element to some degree, but
I don't know why you would want to go away from buying a baby and experiment. It sounds like a fucking fun time.
Okay. I was trying to go non-specific, and you went totally specific to a baby that no one liked.
Yeah. A little stupid baby. It's like one of those babies where you look at it and you're like, oh, I fucking hate that baby. Look at that fucking stupid fucking baby face. Like one of those babies.
I don't know what to say. So I won't say anything.
All right.
I will say that was your thought, not mine. Shove it down everyone's throat.
All right. Well, fucking peace out.
Yeah. Peace
All
to
right.
babies everywhere.
See ya.